welcome to Nerd TV for another full throttle sim racing Martin Sports Truck Series race here at the simulated Pocono Raceway. This tricky triangle, 2.5 miles. We're going to go 80 circuits around this place. Got the weather on your screen there, a little bit cooler air temp wise than what we saw last week and even this week on Monday at New Hampshire. 72 in the skies, 58% humidity, partly cloudy, and only 4 mile an hour coming out of the south end right now. Track temp though, 105 degrees. You see that? We'll just change 104 there on the track map just below that. And the trucks look pretty stable out here, so I don't think the wind's playing any factor, and the hot temps aren't doing too much at the moment, but tire wear would definitely be an issue through these really fast corners. My name is Jeremy Stanley, and back tonight is Mr. Jason Rockefeller. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing good, buddy. Pocono is this weekend. Yes, I get to call some iRacing here tonight. I get to call the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying series tomorrow with Mr. Terry Radford and Daniel Falkingham. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to tonight. Can't wait to be at Pocono, though, this weekend in person, as it is my home track. I always thought Dover was closer to me, but turns out Pocono is closer to me by about 35 to 45 minutes. So I'm really looking forward to this race. I haven't really seen a lot of open stuff or really just any kind of sim racing here on this tricky triangle. It's going to be interesting. All three turns are unique. Obviously named after three different racetracks. Turn 1 being Trenton Speedway from back in the day. Turn 2 being the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then turn 3 being the Milwaukee Mile. All three turns of this track are so different. The tunnel turn being probably the trickiest part after you get down the long pond straightaway. So I'm really looking forward to this race, man. Haven't seen anything really here except some eNASCAR stuff, but I'm looking forward to a great show tonight. And we got a lot of heavy hitters here in this field tonight.
Yeah, that wall coming off the tunnel turn there, it sneaks up real quick. So if you misjudge your speed on the center of the corner coming off exit, it is so easy to push your truck up and hit that outside wall. Dustin, I see you live on your camera over there. How's it going? And are you ready for what Jason's got to throw at you tonight?
Oh, I am always ready. Complete opposite answers there. Good luck trying to figure that one out. No, I agree. I mean, this track here is definitely one of those tracks that it is a driver's track. Drivers come here, they don't like it. Drivers come here and they love it. I will tell you that when I first got on the iRacing platform, Pocono was not one of my favorite tracks, but the more I ran it, it definitely ranks up there as one of my tracks that I do enjoy running. As long as I can get a good rhythm going and I hit my marks. But again, we're going to see these drivers. The setups for these, it's an open setup series. And you were talking about it, Jason. It's so hard to set a truck or a car up for this because you can't set it up for identical corners because there's no corner that's identical at all. So it really throws the teams for a loop when it comes to setup building on these here. But we're going to see who's got it and who's going to struggle tonight.
Yeah, you really just try to find that balance. I know a lot of times you'll just pick one corner that you want to excel at. You'll set that one up, and you just want to be mediocre at best through the other two to kind of maintain here. But you definitely don't want to over adjust it for one, get super comfortable in one because that will throw it off. Being one corner, over 15, 20 degrees of banking, somewhere around that nature. Jason, if you had that stat, let me know. And then the other two corners are a lot flatter. So, and on the boards here, looking at the practice times, pretty spaced out. You got your leader, newcomer to FTSR, Kenny Brady, running a 53.4, and then a 2/10 separate first and second. That's also newcomer Peyton Howell in the 52. It's going to be 52 on the truck, 53 on the leaderboard for this evening. Both of those guys new to the series and to our new team here on the truck side. That's going to be Nerd News Motorsports. So I'm glad to see they have some speed early on here. But, the times are not as close as what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, and, Kenny Brady, Peyton Howell coming over for the eNASCAR Road to Pro iRacing side of things. This is what the FTSR wanted, though. We were just discussing this during pre-race. This series wanted more competition. They got it last week with our buddy Brandon Gagnon. They definitely got it this week with two of probably some of the best iRacers I know. I've known Kenny Brady, non-biasedly, one of my best friends. I know how hard he works at this stuff. I mean, his craft, his performance out on the track, on the simulator, in real life, whether it be on real life or the simulator, he knows what he's doing. In contention right now to make it into the Contender Series. Obviously, though, early into round 2. But him and Peyton are going to be very fast. Also, they got signed on to our team, Nerd Motorsports, along with Scott Martin recently. So Scott, I believe he's going to be making a start here tonight. He's currently 26th on the board in practice as it does come to a close. But Jeremy, these guys are going to have their work cut out. And yeah, Kenny's fast, but Peyton could really give a challenge from him. I know Peyton has a lot of long run speed when it comes to those kind of runs. But nevertheless, both those drivers are two very, very stout drivers. And these guys in the FTSR are going to have a show for them tonight.
Yeah, 100% there. Good luck, Dustin, behind the scenes. We're going to get our faces off the cameras and turn toward Kenny Brady. He did win fastest time in practice. We're going to see if we can get a lap with him through this qualifying session, or anybody really. He's actually not on track. So let's jump over to second place in practice. Peyton Howell, 52 on the truck, 53 on the leaderboard once again, if you did not catch it that first time. And let's see what he can do to try to outdo Kenny Brady's practice time.
Yeah, we'll have to see right here. And Kenny will not post a qualifying time. He did say he was going to do the last to first challenge if he had a chance. But obviously, due to iRating, he could start higher up than the back, obviously, if anybody else decides to not qualify. But here we go. Down this long, long straightaway that feels like forever. I believe it's still ranked right now as the longest straightaway in NASCAR. If not, I believe it's the back straightaway at COTA now. But you see him right there into turn one. He's actually going to get a little bit higher up than he likes to. Actually taps the wall off the corner. So he's already going to throw away his first lap. So I believe what he's going to do is he's going to come into the pits right here. You see that number 52 machine come to a full halt. I think he's going to start. And yes, he will. He'll come around. Now, mind the fact, he's already started his first lap. So this is a throwaway lap. He's going to practice on this next set of corners as if he's coming to the green to take his one and only qualifying lap. So I don't know how Peyton's going to do per se. I don't believe the tires reset, obviously, since he already came to pit road. He did slide them, so I don't expect him to have the best qualifying run here. But sure enough, it's going to be fast.
Yeah, I know he's going to not make that same mistake through turn one on corner exit. That's for sure here. Going to get everything he can out of turn two, and there's that trickiness right there. He overshot the center and really just scrubbed a lot of speed. If that were his actual time, that would have not been good for him. Runs it really wide through three to try to maximize his speed coming through corner exit. Really straight truck there. Conservative, pushing out almost to the wall, but left a little bit of space there. And here he goes down the very long straightaway on the front stretch, and hopefully turn one looks a lot better this time.
Yeah, we'll have to see right here. You're going to see him try to arc it down to the corner. He wants to get as close as he can to that yellow line. Way better entry than he did on that very first lap. Comes off the corner. I think he came off a little bit earlier than he wanted to right there. Might have had to jump out of the gas. I can't exactly hear the audio, of course, looking at feeds right now. But you see right now, Peyton going into the tunnel turn. This is a very fast part of the racetrack. A lot of guys have issues coming off right there because that safer barrier, Jeremy, just comes at you like there's no tomorrow, and you really don't expect it. It'll come up and bite you, similar to how Dover's, safer barriers are there, or any other tracks per se. I can't really think of any, others in mind, but Dover in particular. But here at the line, Peyton Howell is going to jump all the way to the top of the board, 53.645, 0.3 faster than second place Cody McKinney, who comes into tonight 3 points behind Richie Coy. So this is going to be a night for Cody McKinney, since obviously Richie Coy last week too, Jeremy, remember we talked about him, was not his best track here tonight.
For the man you said was not going to be on track for going from last to first, lap number two was here's the guy you talked about, Kenny Brady. He's one of our IROC 93.5 cockpit cameras here this evening, coming off of turn 3 for lap number 2. He's going to carry the speed all the way down the straightaway, and he outdoes his teammate Peyton Howell. So Kenny Brady jumps up 1/10 slower than practice, but still fast enough to put himself P1.
Yeah, and that's a super quick lap. Obviously, so I guess he lied to me. Everybody lied to me. He did, in fact, lie to me. You can see him right now. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face knowing it. And, this is the thing, though, too. For Peyton Howell and Kenny Brady, this is a great way to practice. Obviously, the competition, none of these guys as far as I'm concerned, are running in the top 70 for round 2 of Road to Pro. So this is kind of just a fun race for them, really kind of just to learn their setups on the long run and maybe kind of, I could try to go into the back of the pack, maybe learn how my truck drafts, how it's going to handle. Obviously, they've been doing open races all week. I talked to them. They rebranded from Tranquility Esports to Platinum Performance. So those two are really going to use this race as a big practice session to learn for tomorrow's race. But obviously, they're here to have a hell of a lot of fun, and they're here to put on a show for the fans also, in FTSR in general, and show that they mean business. And if they want to be better, they got to beat guys like Kenny Brady and Peyton Howell.
Yeah, this is going to up the game even more for this team, and they got a whole new competition there on their plate. They're running P1 and P2, but this track is tricky. You already said it. So to set up these trucks, they can be really good here. You've seen Richie Cole. He's always good. He has 3 consecutive wins right now. He's defending it for the 4th time in a row. And Richie's missed the setup. He's run 54.2 in Q to the 53.5 from Kenny Brady. That's almost a whole second, right? So at that point, we'll have to see next week exactly what that entails. See if it's just a one-off being Pocono or if they're just going to carry that same speed, which I'm pretty sure they'll do pretty all right. But these guys are on track. We're going to be gridding here for tonight's 80 laps at the Pocono 200. Kenny Brady's going to start P1. Peyton Howell's going to start in 2nd place. Cody McKinney in 3rd. Brandon Elder 4th. Jeff Chandler in 5th. Stephen Hollingsworth in 6th. Bobby Terrell 7th. Sherwood Williford starts in 8th. TJ Bartell will start in 9th. And tonight's 10th place truck on the grid, Michael Blackner.
11th tonight, Tommy Schaefer in the 29 machine, starting 12th, trying to go for 3 in a row. Richie Coy in the 19 machine with a poor qualifying run for him. 13th, one of our IROC 93.5 onboards tonight, Ryan Chapman in the 27. And a guy right now who sits 2 second-place finishes in a row, trying to make it 3 or maybe 1 position better. Tyler Brown in the 00 starts 14th. Sylvain Jolly starts 15th in the 08 machine. Marshall Johnson in the number 9. He'll start 16th. JP Burns will start 17th in the 99. 18th is Robert Milikian, who's been very stout in the FTSR all season long. He'll start in 18th. Joey McKinney, 19th. And Colby Mice rounds out your top 20.
21st, Kyle Milliken. 22nd, you're going to find Tony Solari. 23rd place, Scott Martin. 24th, Lane Allen. 25th, Curtis Vollmer. 26th, James Torrey. 27th, Brody Hanna, if he is on track, which I don't think he is. 28th, Alan Duranko, who is on track. And Casey Lowe is going to round out tonight's 28 truck lineup here. And we're going to take 1 pace lap, get these things side by side, and we're going to kick this thing off. Green flag, and I know these guys from Monday are trying to minimize those mistakes. 11 cautions, which is a very rare scene for the FTSR boys. But I expect this race to be quite competitive and a lot more green flag laps.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the thing is, too, is this race is going to be strung out. I mean, every Pocono does. But one thing that Pocono always seems to provide, Jeremy, in one way or another, is strategy. Pocono is notorious for strategies. We've seen it time and time again, whether it be trucks, Xfinity, or the NASCAR Cup Series, or hell, even the eNASCAR Road to Pro iRacing Qualifier Series. That is also sometimes a strategy race, but also, one caution can turn this strategy race all upside down. You'll see 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 6 different strategies. So strategy could be a thing that we'll be talking about all night long, Jeremy. Obviously, we go 80 laps the distance tonight total. 25 laps afterwards will be that caution after the top 10 cross the line. Points will be awarded. But nevertheless, this should be a great, great race. Only 3 turns. What turn 4? They're ready to take on the Tricky Triangle.
No turn 4 tonight. Can't plan for it because it's not there. We're going to see if it's typical Pocono, these guys might go 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide down the front straight before they barrel off into turn number 1. Very Pocono-like. No matter what series runs here, they always seem to do it. We're going to see if the FTSR guys do it. Green flag is out. Looks like Kenny Brady gets about a half a truck length to a full length over his teammate Peyton Howell. 28 there, Cody McKinney's going to be run strong right behind the 54. He's going to get door-to-door with the 53 of Peyton Howell as they enter turn 1.
And you see Brady jumps up to the top to arc it down into 1 and 2. He'll head down to the bottom as Cody McKinney starts to slide up a little bit here. Also, these guys got to be careful out of one. Cold tires, we've seen it time and time and again, especially in the truck series. That turn one can be very treacherous. A lot of slip and a lot of slide, especially since the track temperature is 170 degrees here tonight.
And they surprisingly did not go more than 2 wide down the front straightaway, get to the tunnel turn, and they're already single file for like almost the top 10. And then back here mid-pack, as we're seeing right now, the 19 of Richie Coy on the outside of 29 Tommy Schaefer. This is a battle for 10th or 11th and 12th place really here. But look behind them. Everybody is still 2 by 2 by 2, trying to get everything they can out of these trucks. But the top half of the field is starting to separate already because they're single file.
You're going to see right here, Jeremy, this field, once they start to get a little bit more spread out, once everybody kind of settles in line, you're going to see this thing become a choo-choo train like we talked about with New Hampshire. Nah, man, this is really going to be a choo-choo train, but not in a bad way. Drafting is going to play a huge factor. Obviously, these trucks are very, very aerodynamic dependent when it comes to a racetrack like this. As you look at the 9 of Marshall Johnson, he had a little bit of a run off the corner, tried to get to the inside there of Joey McKinney, wasn't enough. So now he battles side by side with, I believe that is JP Burns. And now Kyle Milliken now looks to his inside there. But drafting going to be a big part of tonight's race, no doubt about it. Oh, almost some contact there in the 3. And the 9 goes up the racetrack, but he saves it.
Marshall Johnson avoided contact and almost found the wall, but thankfully did not find it at all. Going to be running side by side here with that number 8. Quickly jumping over to the Facebook chats, which, by the way, these things are live, YouTube and Facebook. I have live, so if you want to chat in, feel free. I'll love to shout you out. I got Brandon Gagnon joining in saying, go get 'em, boys, hashtag Nerditudes. And then Jason Rockefeller, well, you're here. You're saying W to him, so bring it on. We'll chat it out. But, yeah, these top 2 have already spaced out. They're doing the 2-truck tango system. Peyton Howell being an excellent teammate, pushing the 54 a little bit further ahead of the number 28 of Cody McKinney, which by himself is showing some excellent speed. And Stephen Hollingsworth there in that 5, already up 2 spots in the 4th.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, because obviously we talked about Kenny Brady and Peyton Howell. They're out here to use this as a test session, but also to have some fun. It's nice to not be able to race an open session or something that's official and come in here and run a league. They don't really do that anymore. I mean, I don't really know so much about Peyton, but I know for a fact, being one of Kenny's, best buddies, that Kenny does not run a lot of league racing. So this is kind of a first for him in a little bit of a while now. Here on the iRacing service. He actually gets a little bit loose there through the center of 1 and 2. Peyton Howell might open up the door here, try to go to the inside, but he decides to stay in line, be a loyal teammate. So that's the thing. These guys, they might check out. They might go on to win the race. But if you're Cody McKinney, Brandon Elder, Jeff Chandler, Stephen Hollingsworth, use this to learn, but also you're still fighting for points. 8th race of the season B here tonight, but also after tonight, 5 races remain in season B. And this is the race that Cody McKinney so desperately needs if he wants to probably take the points lead away from Richie Coy. Richie's already gained 1 spot since the start of the green flag, looking for 2 currently on his teammate Michael Blackner in the number 22 machine as they race down the front straightaway. So if Cody McKinney can gain some stage points, finish ahead of Richie, he will definitely gain the points lead here tonight after this one. And that could be a huge thing because the next few tracks coming up are definitely some of Richie's strong suits.
Yeah, and the way Richie's running this track tonight, if you can get any points possible over that 19, definitely go ahead and try your best. And he's going to give it all he can here tonight. One quick notable mention, 29 of Tommy Schaefer was 12th place last lap, had internet connection issues going through turn 1, dropped it down to the apron and gave up every single spot on the track from 12th to 28th position. No damage, did not hit anything. But he definitely did the courtesy thing, dropped down below the track surface, let everybody pass that didn't hit him. But now he's got some work to do. And stage break, by the way, is coming up on lap 25.
Yeah, good job by Tommy Schaefer to do that. Obviously, on Monday, we saw some connection issues with the number 88 machine of Mark Brannigan Jr., and ultimately, he actually disconnected from the server due to a lag input connection. And obviously the 29, same thing going on, but it looks like it's kind of, resolved back there in the back of the field. So good job by Tommy to get down below the apron, let everybody by. He doesn't want to kind of cause any blinking issues is what we call it here in the sim racing world. So good job by Tommy Schaefer to get out of everybody's way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Here and everybody is single filed out at this point. Right now on your screen is probably one of the best races right now. This is surrounding the 19 of Richie Coy, the 33 of Williford, who's right now in 10th and 11th place respectively. So a couple of those guys on the bubble are dropping back. If they get passed on the outside, they might get trained up a little bit because these guys are just nose to tail, nose to tail. Ooh, the 19 and the 33 get really close to each other off corner exit 3, and they complete lap 6.
And you could just see, too, how much the draft is playing into effect, Jeremy. Like I said, it was going to, because Kenny Brady wasn't even running up top near the wall down the straightaway, like most of those guys are back behind Jeff Chandler, starting with Bobby Terrell. They were all running a little bit below that top white dotted line. So they're obviously still following the leader. Kenny Brady, Peyton Howell setting the pace right now over Cody McKinney, Hollingsworth, and Elder as well. And Brandon Elder, here he is yet again, had a great starting position, and he's having a great run right now. Almost tank slaps the wall with the right rear off the corner. Good job saving that. As Stephen Hollingsworth looks to try to get around Cody McKinney, this is going to be the battle for the third spot.
Yeah, battle's heating up here. Coming off turn 3, Cody McKinney looks like he has the momentum off the corner, but this draft that this 5 has is so strong. Let's see. He's got the speed. Will he dip high or low? He's looking high. McKinney's going to leave the spot to the final second. Close that gap real close here as they go back single file through the corner. I did notice last lap, turn 1, the 33 of Williford was trying to get around Richie Coy there on the bottom. Could not make it stick. They go back single file just like the rest of the field.
And Richie's finally made his way up inside the top 10, currently sitting in that P10 position right now, that number 19 Frito scheme. Man, that thing looks so damn good here tonight. I talked about it in the pre-race. Look at the little Fritos there on the truck. Such a great scheme. He always has a great scheme. Also, congratulations to him signing the deal with Scott Martin with Martin Sports. He's officially a Martin Sports sponsored driver, like we talked about in pre-race. And, maybe some eNASCAR racing out of Richie Coy in the future. So we'll have to see. But right now, he's focused on this Season B championship and winning the overall, obviously, at the end of the season, we'll call it. But right now, still doing a good job despite being his worst track, sitting P10. If these guys get side by side in front of him or race a little bit, wear out their tires, I think Richie Coy could pick up about 3 spots here, Jeremy.
The only battle right behind these guys right now is the 27 of Ryan Chapman and the 08 of Sylvain Jolly. They were side by side for a half a lap, but the outside actually is going to prevail for the number 08 as he does clear the 27. They go back single file through the tunnel turn here as they're coming up to lap 10.
Yeah, and now tires are going to start to wear out. We're already 10 laps in, 3 different corners, 3 different opportunities to wear your tires out, significantly less or significantly more as they work their way around turn 3. One of the flattest corners. You can just see it right there. Sylvain Jolly nearly loses it off the corner. Ryan Chapman decides to almost side draft. He'll tuck back in line right now behind last week's runner-up Tyler Brown at New Hampshire. So that's a position lost for Sylvain Jolly. Good job saving it. And here we're taking a look at a replay between Joey McKinney and the 16 of Kyle Milliken. And that was wrong replay, but here you go right here off the corner. The 08 right here, it's kind of like he just starts to get really loose, gets back to the throttle early, Jeremy, and obviously with 109 to 110 degree track temperature, it's not easy, obviously, to save these trucks, especially when your tires are getting really, really worn. So good job by Sylvain Jolly to be able to save it and only losing 1 spot.
Yeah, 100% there. His rear tires are probably screaming at him now. I was just watching Joseph McKinney and Robert Maliki in there through the tunnel turn on lap 10, and those guys synchronized the same exact slide the 08 did together, completely side by side, had the same amount of angle on their slide, and they kept it going. And finally, the 18. Once again, this outside's kind of proven to be a little bit stronger than what I was thinking to myself personally. It's just if you get side by side right now, 2/3 of the time you're going to see the guy on the top side. It looks like he's going to be the stronger run off the corner and clear the guy. So kind of surprised by that, but with the track as hot as it is, I shouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, so too, it doesn't really, kind of pay of surprise to me as much because the outside lane has been very dominant at Pocono, especially off the corners, maybe not so much in. Obviously, you see Milikian there on the inside of the 18 machine, kind of has that run. he's going to clear him. But then down the back straightaway, the 18 will start to close up, but he got a little bit loose there down the straightaway. But that outside lane usually is a lot more dominant in the corners here at Pocono. But, I mean, everybody's still driving. Tires are starting to wear out, slipping and sliding. Take these positions while you can, because track position is going to mean a lot here tonight.
Let's take a couple spots here. The lane 14 of Lane Allen's going to go around the number 8 here. Colby Mice at least try to. So we got a couple side-by-side efforts here. Still back behind the top 10. This is where the majority of the action is so far, as the leaders still remain single file for the most part here. Almost looking 3 wide right in front of these guys. They're going to go the 14 are going to go side by side still through the tunnel turn. The 14 slides up a little bit. Contact is made into the wall. Goes to 8. The 14 is going to do a 180 facing the wrong way, and this is going to produce the first caution presented by Roasted Gems Coffee.
Strategy time, baby. Lap 13. Yellow is out. And this could play a big dividend and throw a monkey wrench into this race, as my buddy Terry Radford would usually say. Unfortunately, right there, it looks like the 14 kind of just came up a little bit. Maybe the 8 got loose. Have to try to get another angle of it right there. But you just saw 14 comes right up into the 8, up and into the wall. Going to take another look at it. And the 8 is kind of a little bit farther off the wall than what he wanted to do. Good job by Curtis Vollmer in the 48. One of our fan favorites up here in the booth, by getting around that right there. You see right here, it looks like the 8, I don't know, it looks like the 8 kind of came down into him. We're going to have to take maybe another look at the replay here from a little bit further back, but it's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell, and I think it's just the fact that the 8 did not go up closer to the wall than what the 14 was expecting, so they kind of just had the same idea of where they wanted to be on the track. And of course, you can't share the same real estate, even in a virtual machine. So that's how the 14 gets hooked. The 8 doesn't suffer much damage at all, other than a little bit of wall hit there to his outside. But the 14 has some nose damage. And you mentioned about 10 laps prior that these trucks are very aerodynamic dependent. And so he's going to get that nose repaired. And he's got plenty of time to do so. This track is huge. Pace laps are about 2 minutes or so plus, so we got plenty of time here. We're going to take it to a quick picture-in-picture commercial break, because these guys are going to maybe come down pit road. We'll be back with you guys shortly. And back to full screen action here. These guys are side by side. That means we got 1 lap to go before we're going to go back to green flag. We're going to resume this race on lap 16. Your front row and actually your second row all look identical, other than Brandon Elder there up 2 spots in that 51 truck. A couple of movers, a couple of people falling back. Right now, Tommy Schaefer, right now running, it looks like 24th, and he started 11th. He's not recovered too much from that internet lag issue, so he's going to be the furthest guy back in the field from his starting spot. But we got 10 laps to go, Jason, before we're going to hit the stage break here. So this is going to be a nice little short stint. Use up them tires. You have 3 sets on the or in the pit road rather. Use them up. You got 10 laps to just get where you need to go here.
See, obviously, now that these tires have some wear, who's going to get the best restart here? Will the front row get going? These guys are pros practically, so I'm sure they will. But will the rest of the field get going just like they do up at the front? But they're getting ready to come to the green flag. We're going to have to see.
Pace car makes the sharpest dip into pit road. I don't know why, because this front stretch is massive, but green flag is out. Dead heat for the first 2 rows, even the first 3 rows. Those guys launched exactly all at the same exact time. We're seeing some 3 wide spread out here down the front straightaway. I love this camera angle as they head off into turn number 1. Still side by side all the way through the field here. The 52, Peyton Howell running really high up in turn number 1, and which is going to lock the back bumper of his teammate Kenny Brady on the backstretch.
Stephen Hollingsworth there in third, looking to clear Cody McKinney and try to have a clear entrance into the tunnel turn. He's not going to do so. McKinney still right on his door, gets a little bit loose. Hollingsworth up the track. McKinney will slide right in front of the 28 machine, put him up to P3 right now, taking that spot away from Hollingsworth.
Looks like the top 5 or so have gone single file real quick here as we're going to make corner exit 3. And it looks like the first side-by-side is with the 33 of Williford. That's just outside top 10. Looks like for 11th and 12th so far. We see 1 truck way in the back come down pit road. Now, it looks like it was the number 6 of James Torrey coming down for an unscheduled pit stop. But a lot of these guys being a little more conservative up in the front. But right now, you're seeing the 08 and the 33 still side-by-side off corner exit.
Still side by side, most of the field too side by side. You see some 3 wide racing almost up at the front. Jeff Chandler, TJ Bartell, and I believe Brandon Elder. They were almost 3 wide for a moment. They seem to settle back into 2 wide, way up in front of these guys, and almost into the wall goes the 51 of Elder, and the 08 of Sylvain Jolly taps the wall off the tunnel turn there in turn 2. They're going to get clean, get through it just nicely. Heading into turn number 3, everybody's still fighting for position, trying to get every single piece of real estate as Williford runs the 08 up the track, nearly puts him in the wall. Man, what was he thinking? But they all keep it clean, and they're flying down the front straightaway with only a handful of laps to go here in this stage.
Sylvain Jolly cannot be happy with that move that Sherwood Williford did. It probably wasn't intentional, but the fact that he drove him so high off corner exit had a check up big time. That secured the position for Sherwood. Now he's clear, and now that 08's got to battle Robert Maliki in there in the 16. They still remain side by side a half a lap further going down to the tunnel turn here.
Side by side into the tunnel turn. Milikian looking to get that advantage, but the 08 gets the runoff too, nearly into the wall. Almost contact made there as we look from the infield cam. Now 3 wide, put Curtis Vollmer there on the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to split the 16. Milikian will fall into the clutches of Duranko and Milliken. They'll follow back side by side now. 2 by 2, right in the middle of it, though, is Kyle Milikian there in the 16.
What a brave move by Curtis Vollmer to make that happen. The 16 of Milikian does give up that spot, easily drops right behind the 48. The 48 seems to be on the mission here as the 08 Sylvain Jolly makes a big mistake, switch up 2 different lanes off corner exit. He's going to lose a ton of speed here to the 48. The 48 is trying to get around it, but right now the draft is helping the 08 just enough, but not enough to hold them side by side. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer does claim that spot, and now the 16 is trying to make the spot advancement over the 8.
Continuing to fight for every position, and they're coming around to just 6 laps to go when they hit this time by for the stage. Elder almost hit the wall again there out of the tunnel turn, and the 27 of Chapman just clears them. Now 3 wide behind them.
Ooh.
That looks to be McKinney, Blackner, and Vollmer. Curtis Vollmer really likes going 3 wide on the inside here.
He's got a really fast truck, and he's definitely taking my word for it when you have a 10-lap sprint trying to get every position possible, and he's making 3 wide moves, and he's feeling super comfortable. The battle here also with the 2, 0, 8, and 16 are still going on, so a couple pretty awesome small pack racing going on here at this 2.5 miles facility.
Yeah, and Curtis Vollmer, too, plus 11 from where he started, but right now you can give that thanks to the tires that he took back on lap 13. So he's already used up a set. You can just see how much drive off he has. What a run by the 48. He could have an opportunity to gain some stage points right here if he plays his cards right, makes the moves at the right time. Right now, trying to get around Joey McKinney in the number 18 is, McKinney slaps the wall off turn number 3. Almost said turn 4, and then I was thinking, what turn 4? But Vollmer to the inside of McKinney, going to follow in line right now behind Elder. He'll move up. They're side by side coming into 1.
Still side by side here, midway through the corner. The 18, Joseph McKinney slides up a little bit more. Seems like a lot of these trucks like to go to that third lane. They get an excellent drive off the corner, but Curtis Vollmer is just making excellent moves here on the bottom of this track. As we focus in a little bit further to 99 to JP Burns, currently sitting in 9th place. He's solo by himself. If you look right in front of him too, minus a set of 3 trucks here as the 99 gets loose there off the tunnel turn. A lot of space between these guys here in the side of the top 10. But, the 19 and the 5 almost make some contact there as the 5s come down the track, chops the nose off the 19 there. Coming off of turn number 3, they continue going straight.
And that got the 5 a little bit loose, coming into the entry, almost into the center of the corner. That opens up the door for Richie Coy. He'll head to the inside, side by side. No side drafting necessary for the 19. They're going to dive it down into 1. Will Hollingsworth give up the spot? He will not. He's going to try a little bit of a crossover, maybe off turn number 1. And it looks like the 19 will clear the number 5 right there off turn number 1. Now they're heading for turn 2 with JP Burns following in tow. He's got an opportunity to make a few passes here.
Richie Coy is working the wheel. If you saw him once he cleared the 5, he had a huge sigh of relief there. Blew out a lot of excess air because he knew that was an intense little battle here with his truck. Probably not in the best handling shape right now. As the 5 really closes in turn 3 here, coming off corner exit. And a lot of these guys are just drafting each other, right? So they're carrying a lot of excess speed through this corner. And the number 9, Marshall Johnson, heavy impact to the outside wall off corner exit 3, right in front of the 0-8 of Sylvain Jolly. Sylvain's going to try to make an attempt at a pass. Goes high, gun has to go low because the 9 puts a block on that pass there. Sylvain's going to drive it deep into turn 1 and make that pass.
Tyler Brown just came into the pits. I don't know if that was a factor due to the number 9 right there or what, but Tyler Brown has decided to pit. This also could be strategy possibly, but I don't think so because I just don't know. Maybe something happened with Tyler Brown. Maybe it is strategy. I mean, I believe the pits are closed this time around. So if it is strategy, he did make that stop at the right time. But this is a huge gaggle of traffic right now. In fact, this is the battle for the 13th position right now. Robert Malicki and Joey McKinney still side by side. And the 9 of Marshall Johnson still trying to gather it up. Here comes Durango on the inside. 3 wide, make it 4 wide down the front straightaway here with just 2 laps to go in the stage.
Man, we thought this race was going to get strung out, but no, these guys are just producing awesome racing here for the first 25 laps. They go 2 wide before they get to corner entrance there. Sylvain Jolly still has a crap ton of speed there on corner exit in the middle of the corner, really on the top side. Contact. Marshall Johnson slopes to 33 and destroys that Chevrolet Silverado. Heavy impact into the inside safer barrier. Second caution is out, and this will be stage end for this race.
Seen a lot of times here, Jeremy, in the past few years, especially the NASCAR Xfinity Series. A lot of guys have lost it there off turn 2, whether it be contact, whether it be getting loose. The 9 car, unfortunately, or sorry, I say truck, pops the wall again off the corner, hits the same spot where Justin Haley hit just a handful of years ago back in 2021. hard impact right there. 33 stayed on the ground, but that front of the nose of that truck was completely ripped off. You see it right there kind of spawning back in. He makes the toe to pit road, but a hard hit for Sherwood Williford in the 33, who's been having some strong runs as of recently in the FTSR division.
Yeah, 100% there, and just got blindsided that slap there. I heard the 33 Williford come on the radio and go, "What was that?"
And unfortunately, too, that's just a product of the 9 car just slapping the wall right there. It's nothing really that the 9 car did. It's just he was trying to get off the wall so quickly. And unfortunately, the 33 just happened to be right there. Racing product. It happens, man. And especially off turn 1 here at Pocono. It has happened for years now. You think back to Steve Park and Dale Jr. off turn number 1, heading down the back straightaway years and years ago. Also, you think of, I believe it was Todd Bodine years ago as well. There's been so many drivers who have had some wall incidents there down the back straightaway. Once you get off one, and unfortunately just starts either massive multi-car wrecks or just a one-car incident. Not uncommon for something like that to happen here, Jeremy.
Yeah, 100%. And when the 33 got hit, he came up on the radio and said, "What was that?" He had no idea what happened to him. Just got blindsided by that hit. And you know the big winner of this wreck here is that 00 Tyler Brown. He did make pit strategy happen, and he didn't have to run any green flag laps on those tires. The caution came soon after that. So Tyler Brown, I do believe, will cycle through as your race leader if this does hold true. But I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold off this 54, 52, 28, and these guys here in the top 5. They just have so much more extra speed. But this should give him a lap lead at least.
Yeah, and we'll have to see here. I mean, it depends. And I think Tyler Brown might have played the strategy just perfect, possibly. I mean, he came in early, coming into the pits too. Obviously, same with Kyle Milliken. Marshall Johnson, yeah, he's going to have heavy damage on that truck, but he might be able to do something as Kenny Brady beats the number 52 machine off pit road. Everybody else decided to go double file or single file all the way through their box down the pit road lane to the exit box, or should I say the exit line. But I think Tyler Brown here, Jeremy, on this restart, and Kyle Milken are kind of sitting pretty well. They might not have the speed, but they're going to have the track position when they do fall back a little bit into the clutches of Kenny Brady and Peyton Howell. That's the thing that you're going to have to notice. As for Marshall Johnson, I don't know how it's going to end up, man. He's got really heavy damage on the right side. He didn't just hit the outside wall once. He hit it twice, and not just easy, really hard. It's going to be hard to control this lead if you're Marshall Johnson. It's going to be hard to keep it from Milliken. It's going to be hard to keep it from Brown, and obviously Brady Howell, the rest of the field behind you. If you're the 9 of Marshall Johnson, you take a great look here as our producer Dustin Loxton gives the drone cam how heavy that right side is. As long as it's not really on the right rear, dragging that spoiler up in the air, causing it to create more drag down the straightaways, and especially that right front being pushed in. I don't really see it being a problem, but with how hard he hit that, there could be some RPM damage to what kind of horsepower he's producing with that truck.
Yeah, and the fact that I don't think he's taking tires, right? At least to my knowledge. So the 42 actually came down pit road on lap 22, the same time the 00 Tyler Brown did. That's why Kyle Milliken is staying out here, who's now going to be in second place on this restart. So this tire call, it's going to work great for the 42 and the 00. Not so sure, like you said, about the 9, but these guys on 4 fresh set of virtual Goodyears right behind him. Everybody else has all 4 tires installed. So love to give a quick shout out to one of our partners before we go. Green Flag Racing is going to be the series sponsor, first and foremost. Martin Sports, small company with a big time product, home of the sim gloves in sim racing. They make the most breathable and durable gloves the sim world has ever seen, but they also do more. They also do fully customized sublimation printing on everything from team uniforms to shirts, hoodies, and they also do custom embroidering on hats, which all the stuff that they do in-house allows for 0 restrictions on color and gives them the absolute fastest turnaround in the business. Check out everything at martinsports.gg. Super nerd at checkout. It's going to save you a whopping 25% off from martinsports.gg.
Yeah, and since Scott Martin, he should be having a good time here tonight. Hasn't really gained a lot. Currently sitting P21. despite being the main series sponsor. But look at that number 67 machine. Gosh, I have a feeling I know who painted that truck possibly, and I'm not going to say anything about the number being on the quarter panel. It needs to be on the door. I'm sorry. But but at least Scott's probably having fun right now. And yeah, there you go. That proves the point right there. Nerd raps. But man, that number needs to be on the dang door. But I'm sure Scott's having a great time here driving that truck in the series that he helps promote.
That same group also painted the 52 there, Peyton Howell, which is in your case the correct spot here. But we're going back to green flag here on lap 28 to get stage number 2 underway. And they're already going 3 wide. Peyton Howell gets a great restart over Tyler Brown and his teammate as they go into turn number 1. He's going to still remain 3 wide for the leaders, and Peyton Howell just passed everybody. Then look at Brady on the top 4th lane there, right in the marbles. Going to get a great launch off corner exit. I have not seen someone on that high of this corner in the simulation world, and makes us a great run on corner exit.
Yeah, he doesn't care, man. You're Kenny Brady. You're absolutely digging right now, but he's under fire right now from the 00 of Tyler Brown. Brown's looking to get around Brady, not able to do it. Brady's going to make that pass out of the tunnel turn and set his sights on his teammate Peyton Howell, who's been right behind him all race. So if you're Kenny Brady, you've been in clean air all race. You don't know how your truck's going to really drive when you're in dirty air. Obviously, the open races this week will help. But you can see right now they're looking to make some moves. Here we go on the inside of Kyle Milliken, 4 lap older tires. Not that big of a difference, but obviously the 52 and the 54 both very, very fast. And into the corner, Milliken gets passed by Howell, and Brady now looks to be on attack mode here off turn number 1.
And that 42 strategy, Kyle Milliken, did work out in his favor. Barely edged Peyton Howell at the line, so the 42 is credited with 1 lap led. Give him a bonus point there. But now he is behind that 52 machine of Howell and under fire from the 54 of Kenny Brady. As Brady gets a little loose through the tunnel turn there. Looks like Tyler Brown's still going to be able to hold on here, but he's got so much pressure behind there with the 28 there of Cody McKinney. He's going to finally get to the inside of him. And I think this pass is going to be pretty quick here after he gets the side draft in or turn 1.
And right now you can see, and what do we got? Oh, a little bit of door banging right in front. Kyle Milliken looked to come down and try to side draft Kenny Brady. Overestimated it a little bit. Maybe Brady came up. Maybe might have to get a replay on that. But the 42 came down. The 54 might have been coming up, thinking he was clear, and unfortunately they made some contact. Didn't look like it was too heavy, but definitely a big moment there for Kyle Milliken and Kenny Brady off turn number 3 there down the straightaway.
Yeah, a little bit of cat and mouse, and actually I don't think they made contact. They looked like they got really close, but I don't think there was anything, and that's just straight up cat and mouse right there. You try to fake the guy from coming back up the track, maybe to cut off his corner entrance by pushing him really low down in that corner. Where they carry so much speed, so you have to get heavy on the brakes. But they both got back to the top, and that pass was completed. The 28 now looking underneath the 42 Milliken, and he's going to start falling back a few spots.
Yeah, and you see right now, Peyton Howell, what we call usually, you see this a lot in IndyCar at ovals, like Texas Motor Speedway, when they used to come here to Pocono. You see it a lot at Indianapolis, some other old ovals, Auto Club Speedway, for example. This is probably the only track in NASCAR where you're going to see a snake formation line similar to what the IndyCar series does. And that's exactly what Peyton Howell tried to do there, tried to break the draft away from his teammate, even though Kenny Brady and him have been working together all race long, trying to break the draft from the 54 and also the rest of the field there down the straightaway.
Looks like Tyler Brown's trying to pass the 42 of Kyle Milliken here through turn 3. Gets directly side by side with them as they come off corner exit. The 00 takes a conservative approach on exit, gives all the space to the 42, and he did not get the exit he wanted. As there you go, seeing that snake effect down the straightaway. Everyone moving left and right, trying to break that draft, with this so important here at Pocono.
You might as well just make an outside line with paint or traffic cones down the straightaway and make it into a homemade S down the front straightaway and back, because that's pretty much what it is here. It's like a little mini road course when you're heading down the straightaways because of the draft wake. But Peyton Howell doing a great job keeping everybody at bay behind him. Right now, that first time around, he was, or not first time, but last time around, he was faster than his teammate by a little less than a tenth of a second, despite Brady having the draft. Cody McKinney is well a little bit slower too. So Peyton Howell looks to have a very solid truck here, Jeremy, being in clean air. As you see Kenny Brady nearly hitting the wall, pushing that truck to the absolute limits off turn 3.
And look at that once again, just snaking it all the way around the track. About when they get to the start finish line, they're halfway down this 5-lane super stretch, if you want to call it at will. But yeah, they're really spaced out there. Some passing going on about 10th through 15th. I noticed the number 51 of Brandon Elder, who was at the front of the start of this race, has dropped back significantly. He's well outside the top 15 here, currently sitting in 20th place. So I wonder if he had any pit road issues to put him back there, but he is struggling to get himself back to the field.
A lot of guys right now kind of struggling in general to really get back up through the field. Obviously, you look JP Burns, he was up there earlier. He's currently sitting in 15th. Curtis Vollmer as well, pitted twice. Now he's on the same cycle of tires as everybody else. He isn't really moving any far forward. He currently sits in the 15th position. And a couple other guys too. Joey McKinney started right now, currently right where he started, but was up further in the field earlier on. He currently sits 19th. So track position though, Jeremy, showing that's very, very key here tonight.
Yeah, 100% here. And I would imagine these guys are going to split this stage right in half if it stays green the whole way, which it has almost every intention of doing. So we're seeing a good little battle here between the 00, the 31, and the 42. And also joining in, it looks like the 75, sorry, there as it comes back to the center of the screen. That's going to be TJ Bartell and that black and green Nerditudes truck here. But Richie Coy making some moves as well. Takes the run temporarily away from TJ Bartell as we go on our IROC 93.5 in-race or in-car cockpit angle here. And gets a little choked up there on corner exit, not able to complete that pass, which that outside still continues to be significant here on corner exit.
Look at him right there, just from the intensity and everything like that. He's huffing, puffing, breathing off the corner with a sigh of relief, Jeremy. You said it before, but if you look at his chest right there, right where it says 9 3/4. He's breathing really heavy. And that's the thing. Yes, it's sim racing, but you're just as an intense moment. Maybe not per se like you are in a real race car, but there's still some kind of intensity here. There he goes right again, huffing and puffing as he heads into the tunnel turn, breathing heavily, trying to not tense up as much, trying to feel relaxed inside his cockpit at home, only getting up to about 7th here tonight. That's the farthest we've seen Richie Coy get up through the field, and obviously that's a huge surprise. But again, talked to him last week after his 2 wins in a row at New Hampshire, winning over our boy Brandon Gagnon, and he unfortunately said, hey, this is not one of my best tracks, and we'll just have to see how we do and play it by ear. And unfortunately, currently outside of top 5. Still a good day, obviously. Being in the top 10 is a great day for anybody. But if you're Richie Coy, you're used to being on the podium at the end of these things. And right now, what he sees is Cody McKinney sitting P3, got some stage points. In fact, more than what Richie did. So Richie's trying to gain every single position to reduce that points gap that Cody McKinney could have after him here tonight.
I can't clarify, but I'm pretty sure you're going to upset some Harry Potter fans by saying 9 3/4. It's 9 3/4, sir. But
I'm not a Harry Potter guy, my man. I'm not.
Yeah, you muggle is what our producer Dustin says.
Oh my gosh.
As this was going on, the 52 and the 54 have heated up. They are on the paint up against the inside wall. Cody McKinney trying to get the draft, but the 52 and 54 were side by side. They both were sliding through the tunnel turn last time around, and these guys are all over the track racing each other hard like they're not even teammates right now.
Yeah, they're also, too, just having a little bit of fun. You would never see Kenny running up there in a Road to Pro race or something official. He's just out here having fun with his buddy and teammate Peyton Howell. And Cody McKinney, I think he's probably raced them when he's gotten into a really low top split race. Possibly you see Kenny close right up on the bumper of Peyton Howell through the tunnel turn. Oh, and I think Peyton might have hit the wall off the corner. They're going to be – look at Kenny. He's giving a little bit of a smirk there. Knows that he has an opportunity, probably laughing at Peyton, calling him some word probably. But Cody McKinney down the front straightaway was probably thinking, man, what the hell are these guys doing going all the way to the paint? Because that is so odd to do. But look at them right now, down the straightaway, side drafting one another, pulling away from Cody McKinney. But with them side drafting, Cody McKinney's going to reel him right back in possibly. But again, Peyton all the way to the top side, going to try to do the same thing that Kenny did last time around. And it looks like Peyton's going to have a huge run off the corner.
Man, excellent drive on that third and fourth lane in these trucks in turn one. That is quite impressive stuff. And you know your truck is fast when you are running side by side, still getting loose and having a smile on your face, just having a fun time. Oh, the 54 continues to get loose here as we're running on the nose camera of the 28. Cody McKinney just looking at the action right in front of him, still side by side. 54 is basically sliding through 3 and 4 this time, using all of the rear tires up, not really using the steering wheel to turn left, but the rear tires are doing it. This is actually going to be the second caution presented by Roasted Gems Coffee.
Kyle Milliken, I think.
We're going to try to find exactly what happened there. We're saying maybe the 42 of Milliken. We're going to have to figure that one out here as we're going to kick it over to their TV replay.
Yeah, and it was Kyle Milliken. Whoa! Comes right up in front of one of our guys. And what a hit! And almost clips. I believe right there that might have been the 22. Yeah, he almost clipped Toronto. But what the hell was sliding coming into 3? Oh my God, pulling a Dukes of Hazzard right there in the General Lee heading into 3. We got to take another look at that because whoever the heck that was one hell of a save.
The 18 of Joseph McKinney came in hot through there, and there's the hook, which maybe the 42 just didn't realize he wasn't clear. But then we're going to go on the rear camera and watch just Duranko barely misses it. The 22 there barely misses it. And then the 18 right there, it's hard to tell, but he was sliding deep into that corner. I have no idea if he hit the wall.
We have to look from Joe McKinney's point of perspective. Here's Duranko. Whoa, and he almost tagged the 22 of Michael Blackner as well, probably about a foot or two away from doing so. And Duranko, so startled, almost loses it off turn number 3. Believe that was Joey McKinney, though, sliding back behind that. Play.
Yes, that's correct.
That was very, very difficult.
No.
And look at
Joey. He missed the wall.
Oh my goodness, what a save! What a save by the 18.
Give him that hashtag get a grip, not lucky dog award to that 18. There is nothing that's going to beat that save here. Man, that was impressive stuff. As we're going to try to go on board, we see the wreck. He's entering the corner early here. Gets there. Look how far he cranked that wheel to the right. And oh my gosh, that side force on the truck brought his nose back straight and able to not overcorrect it. Great driving there by Joseph.
Yeah, he might have been channeling his inner Ken Block right there. Probably driving a Hoonigan car right there. That was interesting. So good job by Joey McKinney to be able to save that thing. But pit stops happen and off pit road. What do you know? The Nerd Motorsports guys come out 1-2, but with a twist. Curtis Vollmer, JP Burns, Duranko, and Torrey, 4 guys who stayed out. We're going to have to see how their strategy works despite having more than 10 lap older tires than the rest of the field.
Well, underneath the caution brake here, I'm going to try to bring in one of our in-race reporters. Let's see if we can bring in the 27 of Ryan Chapman. I'm going to hold a Katie Brady interview here soon, so just pay attention to that later on. But we're going to try to bring in the 27 of Ryan Chapman from Elevated Esports. 27, Ryan Chapman. This is Jeremy in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, guys. What's up?
Hey, man. This race, when I see this track on the calendar, I always expect just strung out racing, but this racing out here has been pretty intense from first place all the way back through in 20th. There's just been nonstop action. I've even gotten tangled up in a couple things there. How is your truck overall, and what do you expect for the second half of this race?
Our truck's feeling good. I mean, I'm happy with it. We made a small adjustment just to try to look at the long run if we have one. I mean, we've had a few decent ones, but nothing crazy. So I'm not really that worried about that. But I feel like we have a strong truck overall as a team. all the teammates have been up here. Sadly, me and Kyle got connected, and he's out, which I really hate. But it's racing. I didn't mean to go that route, but it happened so quick. I just sucks for him, but
Yeah, I mean, coming off that corner, it gets tight really quick there. So it does happen in a hurry, especially turn 2 there. But we know no malicious intent or anything. But we're going to go back to green here next lap. So we're going to bring it back to your channel. Good luck the rest of the way, man.
thank you guys. Look forward to talking to you more.
Yes, sir. And once again, that is Mr. Ryan Chapman, 27 for Elevated Esports here. Apologizing about his teammates incident that he had there, which took the 42 out. But that produced, the 18 doing a hell of a slide job there. The 2 of Duranco probably has to have a change of pants on that pit stop there. But we got a half lap before we go back to green.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just the product of coming off the tunnel turn. Everybody's getting so loose, and then you're trying to gather it back up. 42's coming up, 27 comes down a little bit. No biggie, no harm, no foul. It really is exactly what Ryan Chapman said, 101%, just a racing deal. And all you can do is really just look past it. So, we're going to take a look here at the Nerd TV replay. I believe we are looking from, it might be Alan Duranco's point of view. It is right through the 42 machine there, and he almost got involved. So, but yeah, it's just an unfortunate circumstance for the 42. But hey, what else you gonna do, man?
Yeah, 22 almost got involved in that, being Michael Black there. But pace car makes that really sharp corner for no reason down into pit road. That means we're going to go back to green flag action, resuming on lap 42, just halfway through this thing. And the top 4 are different. Curtis Vollmer, JP Burns, Alan Duranco, and James Torrey stay out. At least taking some strategy here. You said it in the pre-race show. There's going to be a ton of strategy, and we're seeing it now. 3 wide entering turn 1 for 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Looks like the 52 is going to make a couple passes early on as the top 3 single file out. Everybody still side by side, even 3 wide down the backstretch.
Curtis Vollmer told us back at Iowa, hey, you're going to get used to seeing a lot more of me. And sure enough, he's up here at the front due to a strategy call. Kind of tries to crowd Peyton Howell down to the inside of the racetrack. He'll slide up. Both of them, in fact, slide up. Curtis is able to get around. Peyton Howell into the wall.
In front of the entire field, and Duranco's involved in this thing. I think the 11 of Slurry barely made it through, but yeah, the fact that he got spun in front of the entire field on the restart, I expected at least 5 or 6 trucks in this one, but thankfully only 2 or 3 involved.
Man, I'm not going to lie, from that point of view, I don't know if the 48 got loose, try to gather it up. Exact same incident like what we saw with Chapman and Milliken. But here we go, off the corner. The 48 looks to be a little bit loose, but, just from that point of view, it looks like Peyton Howell came up. Just from that alone, I'm not going to make an assumption yet, but just from that angle alone, from the angle that the 52 was pointed at our camera there down the back straightaway, or not the back straightaway, but after the tunnel turn, it looks like he came up. And here's a great look from the drone cam.
Watch the seam. The 48 does not leave the seam the entire time. The 52 does make the move up top, thinks he maybe been cleared, and he hooks himself on the 48's nose. That's all on the 52 there, at least from that camera angle.
Yep, definitely. And that's just a product of thinking you're going to be clear. Great job by Tony Solari getting through that there on the bottom, pulling a Bubba Wallace from back in 2020 there off the tunnel turn. So good job by him. But unfortunate circumstances. A lot of other guys, too, got involved in this. You're looking at Duranco. He gets involved, tags the nose, collects the 6 of James Torrey. A few other drivers as well collected, especially the 9 there you see of Marshall Johnson.
Yeah, I saw the 08 of Sylvain Jolly also make contact late into the 2 there of Duranco as they scatter through. There's the contact. Well, the 8 does an excellent job. But the 51 just nowhere to go on that point. But the 08 Sylvain Jolly, excellent effort to keep it off the outside wall with a really sharp corner to spin himself back around. But then he rolls in front of the 51 here. So we're going to take a couple more angles at this huge wreck here.
Yeah, just an unfortunate circumstance. Sylvain Jolly tagged right there. Brandon Elder, boom, right there into the wall. And I believe that's the 8 machine of Colby Mice. He gets involved a little bit. That could have been a lot bigger there, Jeremy, than what we saw. But, unfortunate circumstances, obviously. for Peyton Howell. It looks like this could be the end of his night, possibly, depending on how long that optimal damage is, what it's looking like. And obviously, he takes 4 fresh tires right now. They're not even going to nearly make a difference because we just went green. Just it really stinks for Peyton Howell. Stinks for a lot of the guys, too, who got involved, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really is a shame there, but like we said before, it could have been a much larger wreck. So at least there's that going for a lot of the field. And a couple of guys that got involved didn't have too much or damage. I mean, it was a significant, but I think they're able to pull these fenders out. These are not the carbon composite, so this is a sheet metal you can bend back into shape, repair what you got to. I didn't see any fenders fly off except for I think the 6 of James Torrey lost his right front fender, but these caution laps are really long here at Pocono, so if this thing's repaired, and then I guess Duranko lost part of his truck as well from my producer in my ear telling me that, so a couple guys losing some body parts here from this one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, like, I mean, that's all I could say is it's unfortunate. It's a product of restarts at Pocono. Things get really hectic really quickly, and you can have trouble at every end of the racetrack. You could have trouble off turn number 1. You could have trouble down the front straightaway into 2, off turn number 3, like how Jeb Burton, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had a very weird crash last year, sending Jeff Burton upside down on his roof. I got that all on my Canon Rebel T6. Cannot believe I got those photos, but yeah, Jeremy, they're everywhere around this corner or this 2.5 mile 3-turn triangle. It's very, very difficult to get around her, obviously, hence the name, the Tricky Triangle. So there is danger lurking around every corner, similar to Daytona and Talladega and also the new Atlanta.
100% there. Jump into the chat. So we got 17 or 18 concurrent viewers here. Appreciate you guys joining in. See Diane Chapman on the chat saying, "Go get him, Ryan." As for Ryan Chapman, who's currently up 4 spots, sitting in P9 on this restart. And then username, I think it's going to be Genia, but I don't know because it's G3N1A saying W Brady. Brady's got a little bit of work to do to get to the front. Got to pass the 5 of Hollingsworth, the 28 of Cody McKinney, and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, which seems to be coming out of nowhere. Qualified 25th, or actually didn't even qualify. Didn't post a qualifying time, but he's got the race lead, and he was right before that stage in was just hauling the mail, passing trucks 3 wide like it was nothing. So this 48 might be a surprise here to us. Now with the 52 having some damage, we're about to find out here on this restart. But before we go green, give a shout out to one of our partners. This time it's going to be iRacing iFlag, the standard and open source race marshaling light board system. All that means it's just a 64 LED system, 3D printed, that sits on your desk, which is printed completely customized to what you want, whether if you want like a cover on it or not, or if you want a base to support the unit, and you can put your logo on there, your number, whatever you want. Visit iRacingIFlag.com to complete your sim rig and use Super Nerd at checkout for 15% off. But we're going to see this pace car make this really sharp corner once again down pit road. We're going to see the green flag for the 5th time, and here they go, green flag.
Curtis Vollmer gets a little bit of a good restart here, but even with Cody McKinney down the front straightaway, Brady gives a push to McKinney, but Hollingsworth all over the back bumper of the 48. Now the question is, who's going to have the better run coming off turn 1? And here we go. Kenny Brady all the way to the top. Going to try that move that he tried last time around. And oh my goodness, it's almost working. Tried a little bit of a move. Nearly pulls it 3 wide, tucks back in line. They're double wide down the back straightaway as Brady pushes McKinney all the way to the lead here heading into the tunnel turn.
So much movement through the field. I was afraid there maybe be some contact. No, these guys are doing an excellent job right now getting through the tunnel turn here. A couple trucks getting a little squirrely there. The 28 there of Cody McKinney's going to succeed, passes the 48, and the 48 is dropping back. It looks like his tire wear has eventually got to him. He's going to quickly fall back to 4th and maybe fall back to 5th place with the 00 Tyler Brown. We see some moves. Looks like the 5 of Hollingsworth puts a huge block on the 00 here. Lots of movement down the front stretch.
Fanning out right now, kind of looking like mice scattering if something was chasing them in a field. But here we go to the inside. Kenny Brady to the lead on Cody McKinney. He's easily going to make that pass, clear McKinney out of turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, lots of looseness going on. You see Hollingsworth, he's moved back up into third, but hey, Curtis Vollmer still there, hanging tough up on the outside of the 5, but he's going to have Jeff Chandler heading in to the tunnel turn right on his outside as the 48 gets a little loose on exit. Here comes the 00 Tyler Brown, and here comes Richie Coy trying to pick up some more spots in the 3.
Tyler Brown, big loose off of turn 2, almost hit the 19, said sorry on the radio. They fortunately did not make any contact. You see the blue truck in front. He did pass the number 28 Cody McKinney, so Kenny Brady back to the point here. They're 3 wide midway through this field. Richie Coy on the bottom. It looks like of the number 00 and the 48 entering 1.
Lap time last time around, even by himself, no drafting help, 54.239 for the number 54 machine. Kenny Brady, your race leader right now. Back behind the leaders, though, still double wide. Curtis Vollmer went from 3rd. He's fallen back to 7th right now into the clutches of Ryan Chapman. Bobby Terrell, Richie Coy, they look to both get around him here through the tunnel turn. Richie Coy will make easy work of that with Chapman right on the rear tailgate of Vollmer here entering 3.
Vollmer continuing to drop back here under fire from the 27 to Chapman. This is for 8th and 9th place here as the pass has happened real quick there through turn 3. So again, he's going to fall back some more. Now the 22, Michael Blackner, is going to try to take a look possibly on the inside. Nope, the 48 is going to close that up. So now the 22 is going to have to try it for the top, which he lays off there. They're going to remain single file going through 1.
Single file through turn number 1. Here comes the 22, Michael Blackner, Fury Motorsports to the inside, trying to join Richie Coy with making some more passes. He'll head down to the bottom of Vollmer down the back straightaway now entering turn number 2. Vollmer looks like he's going to kind of give up that position to Blackner and falls into the clutches of, wow, look at this. Scott Martin in that number 67 machine with a number that should be on the door. Sure enough, despite having no door number, that truck is flying right now in 11th, and he's looking to go into the top 10 here.
Yeah, he's up 12 positions from 23rd to 11th. Scott has finally found some speed. He's on the outside now, that 48. Got a little movement there in the back. Almost had a wreck there. Continuing to go straight. But yeah, Scott Martin starting to dig a little bit further. Just a little bit past halfway on the front half of this field. If he gets this long run, he might find himself in the top 10 here in a few laps here.
He has found himself in the top 10. He might find himself a few more positions here, depending on obviously the projection of this race here with tire wear and whatnot. So great run from Scott Martin, despite starting way in the back here tonight. Scott doing such a great job here in the series that obviously he helps put some life into here, and for us to broadcast on Nerd TV, obviously one of our supporters and sponsors and good buddies, doing a great job here tonight. But look at this battle going on. This is the battle for the podium. Jeff Chandler nearly hits the wall off turn number 3. He'll get right to the rear tailgate of the number 5 Space Force machine. To the inside he goes, side by side down the straightaway at a super high rate of speed and down into 1. Jeff Chandler from Hyperforce Esports is going to take the 3rd spot here into 1.
Oh, as the leader, Kenny Brady tail slaps turn 1 exit there. I don't think it was enough to do any harm, but kept it going straight. We remain good on that end there. The top 5 have really spaced out, but right behind Scott Martin here for 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. These guys are nose to tail all over each other, headed through the tunnel turn this time on lap 51, so 30 laps to go in this race. And things are heating up, trying to get into this top 10 spot.
Yeah, everybody right now just trying to fight and claw for every single position around this 2.5-mile triangle. Funny that we're calling it the triangle, but that's what it is, the tricky triangle. And sure enough, it's been tricky all night long here on lap 52. Scott Martin kind of falling back into the clutches of Curtis Vollmer and also Robert Milicki and JP Burns and also Lane Allen, who was involved in our first incident of the night. He's found himself back inside the top 15, looking to make some spots as they all chase after Scott Martin off 1.
Yeah, they're really trying here. These trucks look very comfortable too. Not much movement between these guys. As now the 16 is going to look underneath the 48 of Vollmer to try to make that pass to put him in 11th place, and he's going to clear him before getting to the center of the tunnel turn. Doesn't overdrive corner exit, so safe pass there. Now the 99 JP Burns trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, JP Burns just trying to follow in tow, looking to go to the outside, and look it to the inside. Look to be Sylvain Jolly making a move on Lane Allen. Lane slammed the door on him into turn number 3. Everybody's starting to get a little bit loose as everybody continues to just drag race down the front, but in a single file motion. JP Burns looks to get out of line. He'll tuck back in line here in a 1.
Continuing to put a lot of pressure here. Also, it looks like around 7th, 8th, and 9th place. These guys are also nose to tail, trying to make some moves. The number 4, Bobby Trill, looking to the inside of Tyler Brown, the 00, coming through turn number 2. Looks like the 4 is able to clear him. Now the 4's teammate, Richie Coy, in the 19, looking to the inside of Tyler Brown here, coming to 3.
Yeah, and to the inside, Richie Coy will go right now to the inside of Tyler Brown. He'll make that pass happen. He'll bring along Ryan Chapman now on the inside, trying to side draft the 00, but down the straightaway as the cloud cover is over the Long Pond, Pennsylvania racetrack. Sun peaks out, and flying down the front straightaway, Richie Coy moves into the 6th spot, highest position he's been all night.
Yeah, he's continuing to progress. He said it last week. He's not good here. He's got 3 consecutive wins coming into this thing. It doesn't look like at the moment he's got an opportunity, but he's continuing to get better and better and better. He's up 6 positions, started 12th, currently sitting in 6th, and we have 27 laps to go in this race, and he is getting really close to cracking that top 5.
Yeah, he is, and obviously he wants to try to reduce that gap that Cody McKinney is more than likely going to have on him after this race. And it's been a very hard-fought battle for the 19 machine, up 6 spots from where he started, trying to gain even more. But right now, you're looking from the back bumper of the 00 from the onboard roof cam of our iRock 93.5 driver. That's Ryan Chapman, always giving us the great cockpit visuals here from inside his virtual cockpit at home. And right up in front of them, Bobby Terrell slams the door practically on Richie Coy entering turn 1 in the center. They're still all single file though as they head down the straightaway.
Yeah, they're all within 1 truck length of each other. 4, 19, 00, 27, and now the 22, Michael Blackner, putting himself into the picture here for a 5-truck mix-up. 27, a little slide on center there. It's going to allow Michael Blackner to get really close to him. Lays off just enough to get a good entrance in turn 3. A little bit more spaced out through this corner here. As you come to the line now, 25 laps to go.
25 laps to go now, and down the straightaway, Kenny Brady leading over Cody McKinney by almost nearly 2 seconds. Jeff Chandler, though, right back behind McKinney by about 1.4 seconds. He's looking to try to bring the Abruzzi Racewear Chevy Silverado up to the front into the 2nd position. Stephen Hollingsworth, Bobby Terrell, top 5. Jeremy, everybody's really been having some solid runs here tonight. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys come and go. We've seen Curtis Vollmer up at the front. We've seen Sylvain Jolly. Peyton Howell, despite the wreck, he's 16th right now. If he could just have some luck be given to him in his hands, he might be back up at the front. And obviously some guys, though, have struck some terrible luck here tonight. Brandon Elder, Kyle Milliken. It's kind of been an up and down day for a lot of guys. Oh, we got a wreck on the back straightaway right in front of Peyton Howell. 1 car into the wall. That's Curtis Vollmer, and that's going to bring out your 5th Roasted Gems Coffee caution flag of the night. Hard damage, big contact on the 48 machine out of the tunnel turn.
3 of the 5 accidents have just been absolutely destruction to at least 1 truck, and this time it is for the 48 and the 08 of Curtis Vollmer and Sylvain Jolly, both losing at least a fender, if not more. The 48 might, well, actually, no, he continued to go. But yeah, heavy damage here. We're going to try to get a couple angles from this wreck here. 48 coming off the corner exit, gets loose, tail slaps, it comes down in front of the 08, nowhere to go, and they both smashed that safer barrier, which has been recently pushed way up the track. It used to be a bunch of grass that they had to drive through before finding a guardrail, but they have really shortened up that just to asphalt only, and that's going to bite the 48 and the 08 here on this lap.
Yeah, the '08 right there really got up into the wall big time there. You saw that truck lift up off the ground, set itself back down. And the 48 right there, just a product of popping the wall. The 00 thought that the 48 was going to stay up into the wall. Unfortunately, Vollmer not able to save that number 48 Jimmy Johnson throwback machine. Hard impact into the wall for both drivers. That's more than likely going to be the end of the night for those two drivers.
Yeah, absolutely there, and they got tons of repairs to make on this track. But we're gonna go ahead and go to picture here. As soon as we get done watching these replays, you see the onboard there of Sylvain Jolly in the 08. What his view was, and literally nothing to do. You see the wreck happen. The only way you can react is to go low, and then when the 48 shoots down, that's just it. You're along for the ride. You see pit road is busy, but we're gonna kick it over to that commercial break. We'll be back before the drop of the green flag. And back to full screen here as we have one lap left to go before we're going to see the restart here. Sixth time we're going to see the green flag fly. We're going to try to bring in second place driver, new to the series, Mr. Kenny Brady, the driver of the 54. Kenny Brady, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
I was trying to take up your challenge there and bring you in during a green flag lap with that big lead you had on that last one. But then the caution came out right before I was going to do so. So I'll take my time here during this half a lap or so. You have a really fast truck. You've been running that high line. My question to you is, that high line, I've not seen a truck run up there in that fourth groove, and you seem to do it almost every restart. Is there a grip up there that we don't know about, or is your truck just that good able to grip up there on the top of the marbles?
No, there is some grip up there that not a lot of people know about. So iRacing added a lot of grip to the outside of most tracks a couple updates ago. So I only do it on restarts. I know my teammate Peyton and a few other people do it as the tires wear, but I try to keep it on the bottom.
All right, man. Well, appreciate that information, and we're about to go back to green flag. I'm going to bring you down, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And that was Kenny Brady there, bringing a little insight from the recent updates here from iRacing simulation software. But pace car is going to make that sharp turn once again. Michael Blackner, the 22 this time, he's got himself a couple laps led by restarting this thing P1. We're underway. crossing the line. Not many people have shot down until the 99 there. JP Burns is going to be the first truck to go 3 wide. Looks like Ryan Chapman trying to make a move to the bottom there. Scott Martin himself goes 3 wide entering turn 1.
Yeah, we'll see how well it works out for Scott Martin. He'll jump out of it, actually. He'll jump right back behind the 12 of Casey Lowe, someone who we haven't really talked about online, having a solid run in that number 12 machine, running inside the top 15. 3 wide, though, down the back straightaway in front of them. Couple of trucks, though, 3 wide into the tunnel turn. I believe they settle it back to 2. Looked like it was Bobby Terrell, a couple other guys. Tyler Brown gets around the 9 there of Marshall Johnson. Everybody's scrambling here heading into turn 3.
The top 5 are really spaced out early, but right here, just inside the top 10, this is where the action is. We're almost seeing 3 wide here with the 9. It looks like that's 31 of Jeff Chandler as well. JP Burns still running 2, potentially 3 wide here as they're scattering all across the front straight. Maybe some 4 wide, but they thought twice of it. They're going to back out of it, and they go back to 2 wide entering 1.
At 2 wide, though, right up in front of this little pack. That's the 31 and the 4, Chandler and Terrell off turn number 2. Looks like the outside's going to get a little bit more momentum as more and more drivers start to tuck into that little choo-choo train up on the top groove. Terrell is able to clear the 31. Oh, we got contact on the back.
Oh, no,
no. In front of the field into the tunnel turn. Cautions out. And what could have been a massive pileup looks to be one. Yes, it is.
It was looking to maybe escape with just a couple of trucks, but then at the very tail end of it, more contact was made. I kind of had a chuckle internally when the 5 of Hollingsworth hit the wall with his right rear and his left front fender popped off, but we're going to see him slide up the track here. JP Burns, nowhere to go on the binders hard. He had it stopped, but then the 14 lane Allen could not get it woed up enough, sends the 99 sending sideways.
Yeah, that was just a product of, I think, a little bit of blocking. We'll have to take a look here from off turn number 1, probably from the vantage point of Tyler Brown. I believe that was who it was that got into him there. So here we go, Nerd TV replay. You see the 5 goes around. We're going to wind it back up for like a VCR tape for kids that don't know what that is. And down the back straightaway, the 5 looks to, just a 3 wide move, and then unfortunately makes contact, sets the truck into kind of an unstable mode, makes the truck just drift right up the racetrack, and he had it saved up until about there, up until the 99 spun out and hit him in the left rear. I think that the 5 of Hollingsworth was going to have that saved. And also, too, this is a thing. Hollingsworth is one of those guys. He finished top 5 last week, so he was coming in here with some good momentum, having a great run. And here we go, on board from Scott Martin. He said, hell no, I'm just doing this like Cole Trickle, almost full throttling through. He gets right through, minimal damage to that number 67 Toyota Tundra. So great job for Scott Martin, for Martin Sports to try to get it through right there.
Yeah, do an excellent job there. And that wreck was so weird. From between the 00 and the 5, they made that contact. It looked like that was all, but then the 5 just kept getting, he kept sawing on the wheel, left, right, and then Tyler Brown went up the track a little bit to maybe set himself up for corner entrance, and they just met at the same time, and then the 00 completely sent him up the track. 00 Tyler Brown had basically no damage out of that one, so no harm to his vehicle. But everybody else coming down pit road, presumably for the second to last, if not the last set of virtual good years for these guys, almost everybody down. But at least one person has stayed out on the track per pit stop. And looks like this time around, a decent amount of the trucks do stay out. So maybe they're on their last set of tires. 54 will be P1 on this restart.
Yeah, a lot of guys stayed out right there, and that's just because these guys only have 3 sets of tires. I think we've seen a lot more cautions than these guys probably expected here tonight, but obviously the varying strategies. We'll have to see, though, here who has some tires still left over, and we're going to be restarting with less than 18 laps to go, so this is going to be a show.
Yeah, it looks like maybe, 12, 13 trucks, something like that. Everybody else coming down pit road to the service of their team, so about a half and half split almost. Richie Coy, look at him, P3, continuing to progress, gets himself in the top 5 with a couple of these cautions, uses it completely to his advantage, and now he's got some clean air to work with. That actually might improve the handling of the 19 we might see himself maybe have a contending chance for the 54.
We'll have to see. Richie Coy's been making some strides all night long on that number 19 machine. So maybe he does got some. But remember, he's not really here to go for this win. He knows that Kenny Brady is fast. He's here to battle that guy on the outside of the 54. That's the guy he wants to pass. He wants to minimize all the points that Cody McKinney has gained on him tonight by finishing close to him, if not in front of that 28 machine here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Cody's been really good on these shorter runs. From the long run, what I've seen, he's been okay at best. We're going to see if the 19 can maybe take advantage of that. Looks like the 22, Michael Blackner, Richie Coy's teammate, going to be restarting in 4th. So overall, it's just Fury Motorsports making solid improvements here. Michael Blackner up 6 spots, and of course, Richie Coy is going to be up 9. Respectively there, but we got 1 lap to go. Before we go, green flag, gonna give a shout out to another one of our sponsors, this time over at Sim Racing Points. It's your all-inclusive league points management system that allows league owners and admins to completely track your league stats and more with one simple upload of the race export. But they also give webmasters the complete creation tools for custom widgets, whether it be for full page or for small page layouts of any type of stat you want. And you can check out their stuff through 2 ways. One, how they advertise their product at simracingpoints.com. And then the other way is going to go to FTSR.net, the league that you're watching right now. They have everything Sim Racing Points related, hosting all their stats. So it's a great tool to use if you want to make your league look professional. And another quick shout out before we go green flag to Nerd Swag. Head yourself over to swag.nerditudes.gg or just go to nerditudes.gg. Click on the Nerd Swag section at the top of the page and check out what we have to offer there. Cups, mouse pads. We got our official Scott Martin Sports gloves, jerseys, and quite a few other things too. So check that out. See if you want to support the nerds over here. We would really appreciate that. And Jason, these guys are side by side for this restart. The 28 Cody McKinney is trying to make a pounce on this start here. And yes, Gina, we did catch Kenny Brady off guard on that interview. I don't think he expects to be pulled in that right there at that time. But green flag is out. And great restart by everybody. Looks like Peyton Howe is going to be the first one to jump out of line, try to pass at least the 14 lane out and going down the front straightaway to turn 1.
Peyton just trying to make up as much ground as he can to see how far through the field he can get. Everybody, though, shuffling around through turn number 1. We'll see how it is off turn 1. Howell, though, still in the middle. Contact there with Cobby Terrell right there on the inside, or should I say outside of him, though. But off turn 1, Kenny Brady able to clear Cody McKinney. They'll go down into turn number 2. Everybody still single and double file here through the tunnel turn.
Contact between the 31 of Jeff Chandler and the 16 of Robert Malikian did not cause any harm there, though they're still side by side all the way through this mid-pack section. I think 3 wide even going through turn 3. There it is, Scott Martin in the middle. Looks like the 54 of Peyton Howell on the inside. They go back to 2 wide here down the front straightaway.
Everybody snaking down the front straightaway trying to figure out where they want to go. And you can just see right now about 9 trucks are currently out of the race. 20 trucks remain from what we originally had at the start of this race, though. Look at the amount of different grooves. Peyton Howell all over his teammates. Scott Martin out of turn number 1, though, tucks back in line. Lane Allen ducks out of line. He'll go to the bottom of TJ Bartell. Meanwhile, Scott Martin looks to make a pass on Tony Solari here, heading in to the tunnel turn as Colby Mice nearly chops off the 67 here into the tunnel turn.
Tony Solari took a really wide tunnel entrance there through turn 2. And to my surprise, he keeps the momentum, but Scott Martin's going to drive it in deep with his teammate there, Peyton Howell, on the inside. They're going to clear the 11. Now the 4 of Bobby Terrell. Tony Solari's teammate's going to try to make a pass here. They're going to go 3 wide open, but the 52 makes a huge block on the 4. The 4 has nothing to do but the check up. That run is eliminated as they head to turn 1.
Jeff Chandler, fastest lap of the race, 54.219 last time around, due to the draft and just having 3 very consistent corners and having speed. Currently sitting P5, but off turn number 1, a lot of guys trying to not stay up in the wall. Tommy Schaefer, though, hits the wall off turn number 1, while everybody else single files out. He gathers it back up, and here comes Lane Allen to the inside of him. This is the battle for the 15th spot.
Yeah, battles just continue to be the best outside the top 10 here. As we're looking back to the field, I'm seeing even 19th and 20th are getting pretty racy as well. Still side by side for a bunch of these guys. Still focusing on the 11, though, of Tony Solari. Off corner exit. Scott Martin gets a little loose off of turn 3 right in front of these teammates from Fury Motorsports. The 4 is going to get a good run on the front stretch because of the 6-7 getting loose. He tries to take a look, decides, no, I'm not going to do it this time. The 67 and his teammate go to the top where Kenny Brady said there's a little extra grip, and it's going to work for him through turn 1 this time.
Yeah, everybody, though, just trying to find some sort of grip. 13 laps left. You're trying to pick up every position you can right now, especially if you're Cody McKinney. You're searching for speed all around the racetrack, knowing the 54 has been... Oh, no, Scott Martin! Oh, big hit, Colby Mice, Tony Solari. Oh, and up and into the air goes the 8 machine. Tony Solari tagged again by Scott Martin. TJ Bartell involved. Other drivers collected as well. Massive pile up. The big one out of the tunnel turn here at Pocono.
This is going to be between the 52 of Peyton Howell and the number 8 there of Colby Mice. You see him make the contact. The 8 shoots straight up the track. 75 of TJ Bartell absolutely destroyed. Multiple hoods flying through. Tony Solari does about a 720 before he hits the inside retaining wall. About 5 or 6 trucks involved in this one for the 6th caution.
Big pile up, and wow, TJ Bartell came flying in there, lifted the 8 up off the ground. Pretty much shades of that. Looked like Casey Kane's wreck on the back straightaway here in 2010 when he got up into the bushes. Also looked like Austin Dillon's 2013 Talladega wreck where he got hit in the rear by Casey Mears. Unfortunately, that truck is destroyed along with a lot of other trucks here out of the tunnel turn.
Every single race, you always bring up some fact that happened 15 or 20 years ago, and it never ceases to amaze me. But we're going to go on board.
I'm a book, man.
Martin, you really are. You're a book, and so you got all the calls from this point forward as far as stats go, because mine doesn't exist. But here we go. Scott, end of the wall. The 8 makes that hook to the right. Just absolutely destroys that safety barrier. Good thing it's a virtual wall, or else that thing would need repairs. And you see the 14 zooming through. And there's 75 just doesn't even hit the brakes, at least it looked like from that angle, and just kills the 8, kills the 11. As Scott's trying to get through it, just a little contact, nothing much there. I didn't see any nose damage, but maybe just a scrape of the paint, and Scott's able to go through.
Yeah, we'll have to get a look and see if there is any kind of damage on Scott Martin's machine, possibly, because, I mean, he did take a good lick to the outside wall and was in it for a little bit. If so, there might just be some scrapes on the right side. I already could tell Dustin's doing their drone cam. Yeah, that's right, Walter. You do what I like. And you can see right there, right side of the truck, wow, no damage at all. That's actually incredible. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I think I see something. Yep, there you have it right there. And that's a big no-no. That's going to create a lot of drag in the rear of the truck there due to the spoiler being lifted up off the ground here as you look from the best camera angles presented by Dustin Logston, Mr. Walter White. I'm sorry, Dustin. I know you hate me every time I say that, but I mean, I love you too, buddy. But hey, that's what happens though. You get hit in the rear of these trucks. You get hit in the right rear, left rear, whatever it may be. You jack up that spoiler. That is drag, man. The right rear can help you at some racetracks, but really at a track like this where you want to be really trimmed out aerodynamic wise and skewed, that's not going to help Scott Martin at all. But I mean, who knows? If we have more cautions, this could help Scott Martin because he's sitting P12 despite the little bit of damage. But good that it's on the rear. But obviously, you don't want it on the spoiler. But I'd rather, if I were him, have it on the rear rather than have it on the right side of the truck and reduce my, the way that I turn.
Yeah, thankfully, it's not pushing that spoiler too far up in the air. It's just more direct center and a little bit on the right rear there. As I think we're going to bring in our third and final in-race reporter. This time, it's going to be the number 19 of Richie Coy. Richie Coy, this is Jeremy in the Nerd TV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, nerds?
Hey, man. We talked to you last week from your victory, and you said you hate this track. You're not going to do well here. But somehow you and your teammate, Michael Blackner, just continue to get better and better and better. Now, for the second restart in a row, you're finding yourself in a podium potential finish here in P3 on this restart. Have you just improved on the truck, or has the truck come in for you?
Neither. I still kind of hate this track. I think I've missed a lot of the incidents, and I've just been kind of biding my time. I'm above my pay grade right here. I'm hanging on to the two guys in front of me. So if I get, a top 5 out of this, I'll be tickled to death.
And I know you said you have schemes up your sleeve here. And what's the inspiration behind this Fritos truck?
I was eating Fritos the other day.
No way.
Really?
Are you
That's it. I was eating Fritos the other day, and I looked at the bag, and I went, wow, that might look pretty good on the side of a truck.
I love the inspiration. Sometimes it has to be that way, for sure.
Richie Coy, you are the guy to drink a Poland Spring water bottle and go, I'm going to make a scheme. That is the guy you are. I can't wait to see the other schemes that you have for us here this year, man.
That's what spawned the spam one too. Is I was doing something in our team chat, and Brody was like, "Stop spamming." I went spam.
That's all it took for you to go, spam truck.
Yep.
I love it,
Inspiration
man.
lands everywhere. What can you say?
Absolutely. I love the creativity for sure. You got a half lap left, though. We're going to bring you back to your channel. Good luck the rest of the way, and potentially we'll talk to you again here tonight.
Don't give me that curse.
I mean, you're going to do
wood right now.
You're going to win.
Knocking on wood.
That's right. All right, good luck, man.
Thanks, guys.
Always a swell time to talk to him.
I just love that creativity. I've done that with a couple of drinks that I've drinking. I'm like, man, this design on this can looks pretty cool. Let's make it into a scheme. But this guy had this idea 3 days ago, and now it's a full-blown scheme here for tonight's race. But these guys are getting ready here for this restart. It's going to be the 8th time we're going to see this green flag fly. The 54, Kenny Brady's going to lead the way with Cody McKinney on the top side. And I don't think the 19 is above his pay grade right now. I think he has a shot legitimately for this podium finish. But, there's a check up there from the outside. Cody McKinney does not get the restart he wanted. This is going to allow the 19 to get side by side with him.
And not to mention the fact, look at Peyton Howell. Where in the heck did he come from? Ripping the top. He's got right side damage, though. I don't think he's going to hook the top nearly as good as Kenny has recently. But it's working out. And Jeff Chandler cuts him off turn 1. That could have been a multi-car pile up there heading down the back straightaway, but Chandler just barely clears the 52, the car, out of turn 1, and Brady trying to scoot away with Cody McKinney right behind him as everybody files out 2 and single file here down the straightaway into 3.
That was absolutely impressive. I was actually following the outside there of the 31 and the 52. And there was not more than 2 sheets of paper separation between those guys' bumpers. Thankfully, no contact was made, and the 31 almost hit the 19 going through the tunnel turn. Again, no contact, but now we're seeing side by side Tyler Brown and the 52 of Peyton Howell. This is for 5th place.
What a drive tonight. Knock on wood, man, because I always tend to do this, and I really hate that I do. But Ryan Chapman, what a great night. Always very fast, and here he is. Nothing has happened. The double zero gets turned. I almost thought I was going to jinx the 27, but in front of the field, the double zero goes. Hard contact into the inside wall as well, I believe. Maybe a couple others involved, but another crash heading out of turn number 1, causing Tyler Brown to go around in front of the mid-pack field.
Yeah, this time I do believe it's going to be on that 52. Peyton Howell once again coming off, hits the wall a little bit, shoots down the track. We're going to see it here. Actually, he just came down the track a little bit. You see that gap continuing to increase between the truck and the wall. Finds the double zero, hooks him directly nose impact into the wall.
Yeah, hard impact for the double zero. And we're going to have to see right here because we didn't have the camera on this. Did he or did he not hit anything? That's the question. You're taking a look right here down the straightaway. Is getting it locked up. Oh, no, not Scott. Scott nails him right there, right with the left front. Not the Martin Sports Machine in the Martin Sports Truck Series driven by Scott Martin. That's a lot of Martins. That's 4. But yeah, what a hit right there for the double zero. And maybe we'll try to get a look from a third person point of view here from the drone cam to see, again, just a better image of Peyton Howell and the double zero getting together. So here we go. Perfect. Walter knows what we want. Down off turn number 1, 52, almost up into the wall, if not barely. comes down a little bit off the seam, just starts to pack some air on the 00's rear. Unfortunately, the 00 comes up and gets right into it. So really just a racing deal, unfortunately, caused by some dirty air right there. And then Scott Martin,
Man,
good night.
so close. Good night to that left front there for the 67. And yeah, the way that the trucks packed that air and got him loose off corner exit, because you don't carry a crazy amount of speed off that corner, what, maybe 140? That's a sharper corner than what some people might think. And so for it to get the truck that loose and hook him to the outside wall, that's pretty impressive stuff. But this is for us as broadcasters going to set this up for a nice little shootout here to the finish. When they go back to green flag, we're probably going to be, what, 4 or 5 to go at this point. I see the 52 coming down pit road. I think one other guy, a few trucks behind it coming down for their final set of tires. But this is going to set up for a pretty exciting finish from our perspective.
Definitely is. And I mean, Kenny Brady's been so fast, but what if something happens? What if somebody gets aggressive? He could wreck. He could have somebody else. And look at Scott driving through all these pit boxes. Oh, no, come on, Scott. You don't miss the pit box, man. Miss the pit box there. That's a no-no. But yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, Kenny Brady has dominated this race, but one thing could go wrong in a heartbeat, especially going down to turn 1 and off the corner. I mean, it could be aggressive driving. I mean, Richie Coy, he said it last week. He's a guy who drives with respect. Kenny as well. Kenny races very hard. So does Richie. We saw Richie drive the wheels off that thing pretty much last week. And obviously it was very close for him. But he's a really good driver. Cody McKinney, he means business, and he's here to get wins. Jeff Chandler, an aggressive driver. Ryan Chapman really hasn't had the opportunity up at the front of this field to really kind of present what he has, so he could steal a podium finish maybe away in case any of these guys tangle up. And Lane Allen, talk about the guy who caused the first of 8 cautions here tonight. P8 right now, or not 8th, sorry, excuse me, 17th, or not 17th, 7th. Looking at him, plus 17 spots from where he started. Great recovery for him tonight. Tommy Schaefer had that lag incident earlier. He's P10. So a lot of up and down days for a lot of guys. And it continues to happen here, Jeremy, despite only having 6 laps to go.
Absolutely. And we do recognize that numbers are hard, Jason. I get you 100%. Ryan Chapman, yeah, you mentioned him. He's in 5th place. This is the best he's done. He's started in 13th. So that's going to be up 8 spots. And I'm sure Diane Chapman is, if she is still watching and tuning in right now, I'm sure she's excited to see Ryan crack the top 5 and have a potential at a podium finish here if things can go his way. We're going to go 1 to go here. So we're going to get this restart with 4 laps left. We're going to shout out again one of our partners here before we see the green flag. This time it's going to be our guys at TWRS. Team Watson Racing Setups is a leading name in quality, affordability, and professionalism, with a staff dedicated, decorated, and distinguished setup builders for the iRacing platform. Deliver top-notch race and championship-winning setups to the iRacing service and garages alike. So if you want to check out all they have to offer for every single iRacer and to get you into victory lane as soon as possible, you can find them at teamwatsonracing.com. If you watched our race on Monday, you will know that Richie Coy threw a quick TWRS setup in and just dominated the race, minus the restart on the 11th restart, which you can't blame him for that because of strategy calls. But the 19 was bad fast, and so can you. And once again, that's teamwatsonracing.com.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who has the best setup right now for this 4-lap shootout, Jeremy. It's going to be interesting. Like we said before, right when the caution flew, Kenny Brady been fast all night. But what's going to happen heading down to turn 1? Will we see some more aggressiveness? Will we see Kenny Brady run a different line? Will Cody McKinney try to throw a monkey wrench into Kenny Brady's race? There's so many things that can happen here going into turn 1. And remember, despite Kenny Brady coming out here and winning in his first start possibly, the big thing to look out for is that points battle right there between those two. Cody McKinney and Richie Coy came into this race. Coy, 3 points above the 28 machine, and they had a huge gap over Brody Hanna by over 65 points. So this is the battle. Cody McKinney, he's had stage points tonight. Richie Coy hasn't had a lot. Coy has an opportunity to pounce. We'll see what happens.
And here we go. Going green flag here for the 9th time this evening. Everyone's going to stay 2x2 until they get to the start finish line. It looks like a couple guys, Michael Blackner being one of them, the first one with the 5 of Hollingsworth to make it 3 wide potentially. They're going to actually go. The 22 and the 5 are going to make it 3 wide in the back. But at the front here, Richie Coy trying to do something with Cody McKinney. Just doesn't have the grip to get off corner. Exit the 28 does clear the 19. The 54 already fishtailing down the second straightaway on this track, trying to break the draft early.
Yeah, and everybody's single filed out, some double wide. Richie Coy might lose a spot right here, could lose 2. Chandler to the inside. This is a battle for the podium position. Ryan Chapman right there in tow behind Coy. He's trying to figure out which lane to go with, who's got the more momentum. It's all going to be about where the draft's going to be down the straightaway and off turn number 3. The Abruzzi Raceway number 31 heads all the way down to the bottom to draft with McKinney and Brady. Will he clear the 19, though? Heading down the front stretch. Oh, almost some contact there. Heading down the front stretch into 1, but they're still side by side for the 3rd place spot.
Strong battle for 3rd place. This is podium. This is the chance to talk to us after the race is over. The 31 making some strong moves on the inside lane, which the outside has had consistent speed when you go side by side on corner exit. But this time the 31 is going to have the preferred second corner being on the inside. Clears the 19 of Richie Coy. And now our other in-race supporter, Ryan Chapman, now on the inside of the 19, going to 3.
And this leaves Robert Milikian in the 16 machine to try to get a top 5. Chapman to the inside. Almost a little bit of contact with Coy. He'll drift up the racetrack. Coy loose off the corner, but he's still able to have that little bit of bite on the edge off the corner. He'll clear Chapman down the straightaway, but Robert Milikian in the 16, he'll have a draft in tow behind Chapman, looking to go top to bottom into turn number 1. They're single file. This is the battle for the 4th spot.
We got a lap and a half left in this event here. Coming off turn 2, single file for everyone at this point. Will there be any moves here in the final couple corners of this race? Heading off through the tunnel turn. Nobody goes side by side through here. A very conservative second to last lap in this race. The 19 gets a little bobble off corner. So does the 22. His teammate, Michael Blackner, continues to block the inside move. If the 14 of Lane Allen wanted to make anything, it was not there. But he's going to actually have some speed after that little move to the inside. Underneath his teammate, Bobby Terrell. White flag presented by Nobody Is Out. Kenny Brady with a half a second lead.
And Kenny Brady just trying to get through the next 3 corners as clean as possible, heading in to turn number 1. Banked at 14 degrees after the Trenton Speedway, having a nice solid gap over Cody McKinney, who's been so strong all night long, just couldn't exactly get there. Kenny Brady is 2 corners away from being a first-time Full Throttle Sim Racing Series Martin Sports Truck Series winner. Here he comes out of the tunnel turn for the final time.
Just has a huge lead over the 28, no pressure whatsoever. And he goes through turn 3 for the final time with the Martin Sports winning moment, going to the 54 of Kenny Brady for just having a dominant truck all race long, hitting every restart the way he wanted to, utilizing multiple grooves on this track to pick himself up a victory for the first time in the first race at Full Throttle Sim Racing.
Good job by him too. You know, we all knew coming into this race, the second that 54 was getting on the track, especially Peyton Howell in the 52. Unfortunately, it only worked out for one of the Nerd Motorsport guys here tonight, being Kenny Brady, having a great run. And that number 54, Cody McKinney, gives him a salute saying, hey, man, good race. And these guys know, hey, they wanted more competition. They got it. This is one of the best guys right now currently in the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying series. So this is a guy to look out for tomorrow night's event here at Pocono. And obviously Cody McKinney, Jeff Chandler, Richie Coy, all these guys learning something from Kenny Brady here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. They know now what the standard is here, at least for Pocono. Anyways, Kenny Brady, just impressive thing, running over 50% of this race at P1. So as they cycle through and get to the start-finish line here, as Scott comes up and bumps his teammate with a congratulatory bump, we're going to go over the unofficial results here this evening. Kenny Brady, obviously P1 here. Cody McKinney's going to take home second. Jeff Chandler's going to finish in third. Richie Coy fourth. Robert Malikian up 13 spots to find himself in fifth. Bobby Terrell sixth. Ryan Chapman seventh. Michael Blackner ends up in eighth place. Ninth place finisher, the 14 of Lane Allen. And J.P. Burns rounds out tonight's top 10.
Top 20, Marshall Johnson comes home P11. 12th, Stephen Hollingsworth in the 5. 13th, Tommy Schaefer. 14th, Scott Martin. What a drive by him tonight. Could have got top 10, but still comes back to rally for a top 15. Tony Solari finishes 15th. TJ Bartell, 16th. Peyton Howell, despite being one of the dominant cars, he'll finish 17th tonight. Tyler Brown will not get 3 second-place finishes in a row. He'll come home 18th. Casey Lowe in 19th. And Colby Mice rounds out your top 20.
21st, Curtis Vollmer. 22nd, Sylvain Jolly. 23rd, Joseph McKinney. James Torrey finishes 24th. Alan Duranko, 25th. Brandon Elder ends up in 26th. Kyle Malikian, 27th. Sherwood Williford in 28th. And that's going to round out tonight's 28 truck lineup here for the Pocono 200. And we're going to kick it over to full screen commercial. As we do every single time, we're going to gather up our top 3. Get their final thoughts on tonight's event. We'll be back with you guys shortly. And we're back here with the Martin Sports post-race show, where we're going to bring in tonight's top 3 here. First one on the list, third place finisher, Mr. Jeff Chandler, and that 31 of Bruzy Chevrolet Silverado. Mr. Jeff Chandler, do you have a copy?
I gotcha.
Hey, man, congratulations on your third place finish. Awesome job to finish up there. You started in 5th, ended up in 3rd, so just hung tight in there, well within the top 10 this entire race. What did it take for you at the end there to secure that third place finish?
Well, gosh, avoiding a lot of chaos there within the last 15, but just had a super good setup, and I haven't run the truck since I think 2021. So this is my first time back in it, and I've just forgot what a blast these things are.
And Jeff, congratulations tonight, man. Coming home P3. It's good to talk to you. You come home 3rd tonight, obviously. And obviously as well, you took that step away from the team you were previously on. Now you're on Hyperforce Esports. This is a good run for you, man, 3rd. You've been very fast recently ever since that move over. You know, you were also fast beforehand. How is your confidence now going into Pocono come Monday for the Cup Series, knowing you had a 3rd place run here tonight, knowing, too, how fast you've been recently?
Well, with Hyperforce behind me, I've been with them a little over a year now, and anytime I, get in the cockpit here and put the headphones on and get the steering wheel hooked up, and I have a lot of confidence. The troubles I've had have been self-inflicted, just making mistakes and stuff and pushing a little bit too hard. And tonight I just let it come to me, and the setup was just really, really good, especially on the long run. Now, I didn't have anything for the top two guys, but it was just a blast, and feel pretty good about where I'm at, and you know where we're going with Hyperforce Esports, and I'm looking for bigger and better things. I gotta do my job. I gotta finish it. I can't run good at the beginning of the race, in the middle of the race, and then collapse at the end and make mistakes. I just can't do that.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the competition just increasing throughout the entire year here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. But maybe we'll see you more in the truck series here from weeks to come. But congratulations once again on that third place finish. Any final shout outs to anybody or anything before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely like to thank Brooks and Will and everybody at Hyperforce Esports, Don Wheaton Chevrolet, Judd Danielson, Abruzzi and Racer Apparel, Doyle Lawrence at Raven Graphics. He just does a spectacular job with my cars. I just appreciate what he does for me so much. Kenny and the guys at Team Watson, they've been a big addition for us, and I hope we have been for them, and it's really paying off. Notitudes, man, just love you guys to death, and just glad to be talking with you again. FTSR and Martin Sports, of course, for sponsoring the series. It's a great series. I will be back.
Awesome, man. Glad to hear it. Appreciate all the kind words. And we're looking forward to see you on Monday and then these Wednesdays to follow.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that was the number 31 of Jeff Chandler. Now it's time to bring in second place finisher, driver of the Toyota Tundra, Broughton Kennels machine there, Mr. Cody McKinney. Do you have a copy? Hey, man, great run overall for you. Started third, finished second. You barely even left the top five. How tough was it with some new drivers in here that were like showing up the field, and you hung in there tight by yourself without any draft? You're able to maintain the top two guys. One of them fell off toward the end, but your truck was just so stout. How'd you get it done?
Just kept with it. Just running C opens, the time slots that I do. It helps because I get run with guys like Kenny and all them Road to Pro guys, so it gives me a chance to kind of learn what they're doing, and I'm proud of myself. I was able to keep up with them tonight, and that's kind of what I wanted to do going into the night, was just keep up with them and hopefully have something at the end.
Yeah, Cody, good job, though. Finished in second here tonight, because I kept talking about it. We knew that Peyton Howell and Kenny Brady were going to be really quick. And I kept telling Jeremy, I said it like twice, the battle to look for on the restart was going to be between you and Richie, because coming into tonight, you were only back by 3 points. You guys have separated yourself from third on back. And obviously tonight, you gained a little bit of points on him. I believe now you will have the points lead, if I'm correct, heading out of tonight. Next week, going on to, I believe it is Richmond. So how does it feel knowing that you were able to have a little bit better of a race than Richie? He struggled a little bit, but was able to come back for a fourth place finish. How does that confidence build and the booster obviously go moving forward, knowing you're going to leave here at the points lead?
I mean, it feels good. Kind of gotta see what that buffer is now, and then just kind of go from there. But yeah, going next week, Richmond, home track, so I know what I can do there. So it's just going to be about keeping the truck clean and just racing the truck. Just don't overdrive it, don't overdo it. And Richmond, another driver's track, and if you get caught racing everybody else, that's where you're going to have problems. So.
Yeah, man, just solid execution will definitely get you there. And it sounds like you're fairly confident what you have to bring next week there at Richmond. But congratulations on second place once again. Did a hell of a job keeping it up there in the top five. Floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go this evening?
213 Gaming, or 213 somewhere. Broughton Kennels. Everybody that helps us week in, week out. FTSR for the series, the league, y'all for broadcasting every week, and yeah, hopefully next week we can get one more spot better.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Have a good night, the rest of the night, and we'll catch you later on next week.
Y'all too.
Thank you. And that was the number 28, Cody McKinney. Now it's time to load up the Martin Sports Victory Lane to talk to basically the Project 91 driver, SVG/Kenny Brady, shows up at FTSR first race, and here you are, man, in Victory Lane. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. That was a funny reference. I wish I was good as that guy.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But you never know. But yeah, just solid race. You and the 52 just put on a hell of a show for everyone up there. Unfortunately, the 52 had some incidents that put them in the back, but you just continued to just dominate this race. Didn't matter where you put the truck. You had the speed all race long. So just kind of walk us through how you prepared for tonight and what's your plans forward for FTSR?
Well, I've done a lot of open racing this week. For the Road to Pro Series tomorrow night, I'm actually competing in that. So I had a lot of laps heading into the race tonight, and I found out like a couple minutes before the race that it was an open setup race. So I was able to use the setup I had been doing laps on all week in the race, and it really helped. So just honestly felt like a practice race to me, just to get more laps for tomorrow night. And but it was fun. It was fun to race Peyton, and we had a good battle there for a little bit, and then he got wrecked, so that kind of sucked. But super fun race regardless, and everyone in there was pretty clean and pretty respectful, so super fun.
Yeah, buddy. Good job tonight finishing P1. Obviously, tomorrow you talk about running the eNASCAR Road to Pro iRacing Qualifier Series, and you talk about how basically every day you're out here running open setups, running the amount of laps that you do. You guys over at your team, you, Andrew Navarro, Peyton Howell, you guys are continuously building and building. And you said you were really fast this week. And obviously, a driver usually learns every single race, every opportunity they get. Was there anything from tonight's race that you're going to incorporate into tomorrow?
I just think restarts, honestly. That's something I learned. I did not know the outside in turn one worked as good as it did, so I think I can apply that to the restarts tomorrow night. Hopefully, we don't have too many. I really hope for some green flag laps, but they get pretty hectic, and there's a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing. So if I need to use the top, I'll definitely go up there. So that was nice to know. And besides that, I guess just seeing how hard I can push the truck and keeping the tires on it at the same time. That was something I tried to do at the start of the race, just try and create a certain pace and see if it worked. And I felt pretty good. So I feel like those two things I'll take into tomorrow night. And hopefully everything goes just like it did tonight. We can come out with a win.
Yeah, I was really surprised too to see those restarts so dominant in that third and fourth groove. Just another quick sub question about that. Do you think that lane would sustain on a long run running that upper groove, or do you think still the bottom lane's the preferred?
Um, it depends. I think it's definitely a lane you can use if you're trying to pass somebody, and if they are running the inside line, and maybe if you just want to get out of their dirty air and use it to get a run off to get up beside them. Me personally, I choose the bottom all the way around the racetrack, especially if I'm trying to pass somebody, just because I run better down there, and uh, it just helps the tires. Once you go up there, you shred a lot of wear out of the tire, and it just makes the rest of the run really hard. So I don't. I mean, it's definitely something you can use as the long run goes on, but I prefer the bottom. But there's definitely grip up there.
That's good information there. But yeah, congratulations once again, man. P1 tonight. Final thoughts? Any shout outs you want to give out before we let you go?
Yeah. First off, Landon Mills. He painted this truck last year, and I brought it back to just for this race. So thank you to Landon for the paint. Martin Sports for sponsoring the series, um, and for them being my primary sponsor in Road to Pro this year. Uh, Nerditudes as well. They jumped on board for round two. Uh, I also want to thank BRTV. They've been on my truck for a while. And then obviously Team Watson Racing setups. I build their C Open truck setups every week. So shout out to those guys, and then obviously everyone on Platinum Performance, my iRacing team that I co-own with Andrew.
Yeah, appreciate all the words there, man. Congratulations once again, and we're gonna let you go. We'll go and celebrate the rest of this evening, and good luck tomorrow, by the way.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that was the driver number 54, Kenny Brady, bringing it home, P1. And final thoughts, Jason. I came into this race thinking this was, like you said in the pre-race, we're going to be logging laps. I think it's going to get strung out. But this race, all 80 laps, there was action everywhere on the track, and it really surprised me, and it got me really excited now for this coming up Monday for the Mach 1 Performance Cup Series.
Yeah, I mean, it's got me hyped up in general, man. I mean, I'm going to the actual race this weekend, so
Yeah, you are.
I'm very excited. Hopefully I can make the Mach 1 Performance Cup race on Monday, but if not, I hope you boys have a blast. I'm sure it will be. The next gen car is a totally different animal compared to the trucks here, obviously. But what a race. I mean, for something we thought was going to be kind of single file, choo-choo, all aboard the Long Pine, Pennsylvania Express. It was far from that. Great racing throughout the entire field. I've always said this, and honestly, ever since I started going to Pocono starting in 2021, when I went to that Saturday race when they did the double headers, I've said it. Pocono is a good track. If the cameras could just show battles throughout the field, this track provides. It is a very good track. I really wish it were in the playoffs. I've said it continuously. There's Walter. Yeah. See, he agrees. It is a hell of a racetrack, man. This is, in all honesty, when you really look at racetracks, this is probably, and I'm not counting road courses, I'm counting regular oval style racetracks. This is the most unique racetrack we have on the NASCAR schedule. You have 3 totally different corners and turn 4. What more could you ask for? I mean, this track provides so well. It's a beautiful area. I'm so excited. I keep talking. I'm so excited to go this weekend. I'm like fanboying. I love this place. It's been near and dear to my heart the last few years. But what a race. Congrats to my buddy Kenny Brady on the win tonight. I wish him the best of luck tomorrow. I always talk to him beforehand. Good job by Cody McKinney and Richie Coy as well to drive from what we thought was a terrible day all the way up to the front practically. There were a lot of guys who impressed me, but obviously too, a lot of guys too, having some up and down days as well.
Yeah, man, you usually bring a lot of fun energy to this broadcast, and you can definitely tell there's an extra pep in your step. You're looking forward to this weekend.
I am looking forward to it, man. I'm excited.
100%. And Dustin, we didn't keep you super busy, but there was a lot of action around the track. So what was your final thoughts as a producer to try to bring in all the action to the screen?
I have to 110% agree with Jason on this. I mean, this track is unique. You got 3 different link straightaways, 3 different banked corners and size corners. If the camera angles are right and the racing is right, you can catch the race in action here. I mean, we seen it today. I mean, I felt that the race in action that was caught on camera for all the fans out there watching it or watching it back on replay was fantastic. I mean, we caught 2, 3, 4 wide racing. I mean, it was fantastic all the way around, and I think it really showcased what this track has to offer. I loved, seeing drivers up there doing very well. Unfortunate, some of the drivers struggled tonight as well. I mean, it's just one of those things you don't know what to expect. Richie Coy coming in, he said last week, that he hates this track. He was interviewed mid-race, and he says, I still hate this track, and he was running P3 at the time. It's just one of those things, that you see. I'm super happy for Kenny Brady coming on board with Nerd Motorsports, grabbing the dub. Awesome kid. He's an excellent driver. Peyton Howell coming on board with Nerd Motorsports. Excellent kid there as well. Just some of the corners, coming off of the corners and, getting close. And there was some of the, I don't know if it was air in between. We'll leave it at that. Don't look at me like that, Jason. You know what I'm referencing without saying it. But it's an unfortunate thing, but I mean, he had an excellent run too. And Jeff Chandler, so happy to actually hear from him up in the podium again. That was fantastic.
The first time I've ever heard him.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and I loved how he said that. He's had good equipment under him. It's just a lot of the things were his mistakes, and he just has to learn to finish. So the first thing that come to mind was he has to learn not to be my Chicago Bears and be really good at the start and just blow it out in fourth quarter.
Can't be my New York Jets, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So I mean, it's I'm super glad to hear Jeff doing that. I'm even happier to hear that he's going to be back and he realizes how much fun this series is. So fantastic all the way around. I have to thank everybody on it because, like I said, I mean, they really showcased what this track had to offer.
Yeah, 100%. Not only is Chandler going to be continuing to run here on Wednesday now, that's just another solid competitor period in the series, which it's all welcome. So appreciate everything that everyone does here for every Monday and Wednesday. And yeah, this has become a more of an exciting track for me too, personally, to watch. So I'm jealous of you, Jason, to be there this weekend. Hopefully 1 year I'll be able to travel up there. But we're going to close this broadcast out. Thank our partners one last time. Full Throttle Sim Racing, FTSR.net. Register. You see the racing action. It is now action-packed from green flag to checker flag like it wasn't already before. Now it's really it's upped its level even more for the year and a half or so that we've been doing this. So FTSR.net, please sign up today. Mach 1 Performance, the Cup Series sponsor. It's a local repair shop and fabrication shop that's produced champions from multiple racing divisions locally. So if you're in their area, visit facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance. Then, of course, you have Sim Racing Points, your league points management system that rules all of everything else that's offered on iRacing. So if you want your league to look professional, head over to simracingpoints.com. Martin Sports, top quality apparel to make you look stylish and feel comfortable. Visit martinsports.gg to check out their entire product lineup. iRacing iFlag, get all of your notifications just a fraction of a second faster. And visit iRacingIFlag.com to check out everything that they offer for your sim rig. The Butt Kicker, get the ultimate racing feel with the haptic transducer response system that sits underneath your chair, and it brings all the bumps in the track directly to your seat. Find them at thebuttkicker.com. Team Watson Racing Setups. You heard it now from Kenny Brady. You got Richie Coy on board. Jeff Chandler's running them, which, by the way, that was basically almost your top three, minus Richie Coy finishing in fourth. Obviously, those setups are proven here, and they're going to be proven elsewhere. Kenny Brady, he builds the things, right? So if you want to race like him, visit teamwatsonracing.com. And lastly, Roasted Gems. Start your day the right way with premium coffee grounds just for you. RoastedGems.com. Go get yourself some to get a taste. All right, guys, we're going to close it out for this week. We're going to catch you guys on Monday at Pocono for the Mach 1 Performance Cup Series here from FTSR. Until then, you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on.